Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the 3 hours of the end of your life. We will be doing 3 hours of high-speed reverse Macau. And I'm very attractive. With me, as always, is the man, the myth, the legend, the person who puts the antic in pedantic, Michael Max.
Thank you. We're at Nürburgring, so not
So
reverse
you'll
Macau.
they'll only have to complete like 4 laps.
No, that's Nordschleife, I think. Yes. This is Nürburgring. 3 hours, 2 drivers per car. Only 14 cars, so a pretty small field. I think the race will kind of develop in a way that leads to us talking a lot about music, media, the UFC, random stories, and that is a very pink car. Oh my lord!
Indeed.
I had not seen that car until now.
I've had ice cream like that.
This is very, very pink. So the deal here is that we're going to do 3 hours of Nürburgring. Each team must do 1 pit stop to swap drivers. We will probably see more than 1 pit stop per car because very few of the cars have the ability, really, with any degree of pace, to get to a half distance. So we'll probably see 2, even 3 pit stops maybe would be a possibility. We're limited to 7 sets of tires for the race, practice, and qualifying. And I don't think I really have that much else to say about that. We got some new guys to the field that we haven't seen before. Kevin Braun up in first place there, for example. Fabian Wohlers, Stefano Schiavano, Aaron Racer, Sammy Shades, Smirek. I have no idea how to say your name. Welcome. And I don't really have much else to add. This is just a one-off event that we wanted to do practice for the 9-hour of Nürburgring, which is coming up in 2 weeks' time. I'll be racing in that along with R.C. Guerin, Javier Perez Torres, and Jeff Wentworth, although there are some concerns about Javier, spoiler, after this race. And
He's dead.
He's not dead. That would be very, very cruel if we killed him.
He's a ghost. He's a phantom. He will never truly exist corporeally again.
So I don't really know what else to say. I assume everyone watching this is kind of familiar with the basic concept of endurance racing, in the sense that it's a long game. It's a big picture race. It's not something you're going to be looking at winning or losing within one moment, even more so than other races because it's just so long. We're looking at 90 laps around Nürburgring here today. Kind of long. 39 degrees out there, and it will be up to the drivers to adjust to the changing track conditions, and it's really going to reward the people who can maintain focus and put up consistent lap after consistent lap as opposed to a hot lapping mentality that works in 1 hour races.
Joke's on you. It's just a series of hot laps.
I mean, if you could hot lap for 3 hours, well, I guess 100 minutes is the maximum time you can be in the car. Congratulations, but that makes you very weird.
They just need to turn off the air conditioning and every lap's a hot lap.
Since we only have 14 cars in the field, there's no silver, no bronze, no nothing like that. So, unfortunately, that's going to be in general, just
everybody's racing for aluminum.
Just a really short one. We got our grid: Bauer and Sauer, or Braun and Sauer, pardon me. Castano Muniz and Arjona are well-known teams second. Then it's Murr and Burke, Watt and Higgs, McLaughlin and Wentworth, Wohlers and Pater, Schiavone and Weissman, Racer and Reinhardt, Reinhard, I think, or Reichard. There we go.
Reichard.
Nelson and Hancocks. That's a dangerous name to have in this community. Simmons and Adam David Brush. Then it's Shades and Ferber. Smilder. I have no idea how to say this name. Schildermake. There we go. And Walter, Arno and Lynn, Torres and Magus. That is your grid.
I guess you could just call him Schickelgruber if you wanted.
Schickelgruber? I'm down with Schickelgruber. We did have to restart the server twice due to some problems. So if we do a multi-server, a multi-driver event again, please, a little more preparation, everybody. Get ready.
More drinking.
Get ready. Get rowdy. I just watched Marky D do a, well, not just watch, but like this morning I watched Marky D do his K Quick video, K Quick in WWE, which was Raw the Truth Killings or R Truth. And now Get Rowdy, their theme song, is stuck in my head.
You poor son of a bitch.
It was a pretty good theme song, actually. Him and BG James would rap it.
Is it literally just Ron the Truth Killings yelling, "Get rowdy!" like all over?
That's more or less his part, but it was originally a duet with Road Dogg, and Road Dogg actually gave it some, some more detailed lyrics. This is back in...
You should get rowdy.
This is back in like 99, 2000-ish, when he first came to WWE. And then kind of left really quickly. We're just waiting for the server to switch over to race mode, and then we'll get them rolling here. So, Byron, are you excited for the new drivers to experience your commentary prowess?
Welcome to a world of pain.
Adam Frazier has been traded in the major leagues today, or at least is rumored to be traded, despite leading the league in hits. It's a bit of a silly move.
It's probably because he's using all that pine tar.
Mm. We also have some custom liveries in the field, although it looks like our director does not have the custom liveries downloaded, unfortunately, because I'm seeing blank liveries where those customs should be. So unfortunately, we're not going to get to show off the artistic abilities of Justin Swan here today, who did some excellent, lovely work keeping the liveries nice and small. And I've been thinking about this today. I think the next ESR Racing 101 video is going to be ACC custom liveries, because I've had to explain the whole custom livery dilemma multiple times to people who don't know what's up. And I figure having a video to just link them to will probably actually be the best solution for this.
Here's the deal. You get a custom livery, we have you summarily executed by badgers. And
actually the greatest custom livery. I really need to find this video again. It's in my history somewhere, but there was a guy who just apparently, according to the description of the video, had been told repetitively not to make a Donald Trump livery, and made a Donald Trump livery that said "build that wall." And a couple of the guys got together and actually ruined his race by literally forming a wall of cars in front of him, just not letting him pass. And then after the race, just saying, "We built the wall. What's your complaint?"
We fulfilled your request.
That is sometimes the problem when you get custom liveries in there. People get political and sometimes just really, really terrible. I remember way back.
I just want one that says "Hail Satan" all over the place. Well, it was a big problem.
I remember. I can't. I'm trying to remember the specifics of it. There was one guy who got kicked out of a community I was in because he refused to stop running a custom livery that was like I think it was Ku Klux Klan.
Ooh. Not acceptable.
There's always that problem. We are 30 seconds away from the start here, so the engine should start going live right about now. This is when everybody can get in the car. And we see who's starting the race. It's going to be Braun, Arjona, Murrah, Higgs, Wentworth, Wohlers, Wiesman, Racer, Nelson, Simmons, Shades, Walter, Lynn, and Magus.
Are you sure it's literally not just Wiseman because it's spelled Wiseman?
Could be Wiseman, but I think it's Wiesman because he's German.
He's the wheat guy?
I think so.
Interesting.
That's how the soccer player pronounces his name. That's what I'm going on.
Well, I suppose if you've already got precedent, then I'll allow it.
I mean,
I'm just going to call him Easy from now on.
I'm
That's
not
all your
saying
fault.
I'm not saying this is the most concrete option of all time. It could be Wiseman.
Maybe he's got a couple extra brothers. They could be the multiple wise men.
3 wise men.
They could bring Gold, Frank Stallone, and Murrah.
We head around on the warm-up lap here. Full warm-up lap to try to get the tires up to temperature. I'm a little surprised we're not seeing too much wiggling. I was thinking we'd give them more wiggles.
I like a little wiggle.
There we go. Murrah giving you the wiggles.
Give me that wiggle, boy.
Interesting to see Murrah back in the Ferrari, but of course that is a powerhouse driving combo that we have with him and Andrew Burke, two of the fastest drivers in ESR. Should be interesting. I think you also got to look out for Arjona and Xavi Castano-Muniz. They're in the Porsche that's in second place. They're very quick, and they've been working together for a really, really long time. So I think they're two guys who are going to know each other incredibly well. And then, of course, we have our pole sitter, Kevin Braun, and his partner, Nils Sauer. So also a contender there. Not sure what to make of Matt Higgs partnering with Mika Watt. I think that's an interesting team. I think those are two very fast drivers, but they're also two drivers who strike me as weaker on long runs.
I mean,
so we'll see what happens.
They're not allowed to drive a literal bus, so I don't think Mika Watt's going to do very well, to be honest.
I think in fifth place you've got Josh McLaughlin and Jeff Wentworth. That's an interesting combination. Wentworth's a really strong driver. McLaughlin is a kind of lower end silver driver to higher end silver driver at times. He's very feast or famine. We'll see what he can do. I know nothing about the 6th and 7th place and 8th place teams. I do know that Dave Nelson and Jeff Hancock's are riding together. I know Dave very well. I don't really know Hancock's. And then you've got Simmons.
Don't lie to the people. You know all about Hancock's.
Then we got Simmons and Adam David Brosh. Again, not really sure what to make of that team. Max Simmons is a very young, very promising, very fast on his day driver. But I do kind of wonder what he's going to be like in an enduro setting. And Adam David Brosh is a massive motorsport fan. Shout out to him. But his racing is still kind of in the very much developmental phase. So it'll be interesting to see what that car can do. And then further back, I don't really know 11th through 12th. And then, of course, the car that I am in, partnering with Javier Perez-Torres, which should be a very consistent and strong
Did you just
team.
classify a man as having delayed development?
No. Said he's still in the developmental stage. It's not
Developmentally delayed.
He's been sim racing for like a couple of months. I think that's more than fair.
I mean, by a couple of months, Stoffmill already won 14 races.
Not quite, but comparing yourself to Stoffmill at any point in development is not exactly a winning formula. Mike Stoffmill progressed remarkably fast as we hit the green flag off here. I have legitimately never seen a driver progress as fastly as Mike Stoffmill. So,
yeah.
So I think most people it takes quite some time for them to develop the craft, the pace, technical. Contact! Matt Higgs getting into it with Javi Castano-Muniz. Some carnage further back. 2 more cars getting picked off. We'll see what happens when everything gets settled down, but this is a big boon for Kevin Braun, who leads by a long shot over an Aston Martin, I do believe. Oh, no, he is the Aston Martin in the front. Pardon me. So Kevin Braun leading the way from William Murrah. And in third place, it's an Aston Martin. I'm not sure who that is. I'm thinking it's Fabian Wohlers, but I could be mistaken. I'm trying to get the number there. I think it is Wohlers. And we're waiting. The first sector here is really, really long, so it takes a really long time for us to get the updated time chart there. It is popping up now. So yeah, it is Braun leading from Wohlers in second place, actually. Murrah down to third. Interesting. So it's a 1-2 for Aston Martin. So that wasn't Braun that we were looking at earlier in the Garage 59 car. Murrah to third, Racer to fourth, Simmons to fifth, Schildermack into 6th place. Nelson, Magus, McLaughlin, and Lynn rounding off your top 10. So Magus has made up a couple spots, starting from 14th and moving up into 8th. Schiavone, Higgs, Castano Muniz, and Shades appear to be the ones that have caught up in the whole ruckus and are at the back of the pack.
The ruckus from Caracas. Javier Perez Torres.
We really do need to get someone from Caracas.
We do.
Just to make that line zing a little harder.
And then they could perhaps mail us some maracas from Caracas.
I'm kind of disappointed that the livery that was worked up for myself and Javier Perez Torres is not being displayed here.
You just got to go faster.
Although I don't mind how it looks, actually, with the kind of default Rising Sun livery. That's not too bad, actually. Sean Spades going side by side with Matt Higgs, or Shades. I don't know why I keep thinking his name is Spades.
Because you're racist?
No, that's not it at all.
It's actually pronounced Sade.
Sade?
Like the singer.
I doubt it, but maybe.
Also, I find it hilarious that you refuse to pronounce Shivani's name correctly. I approve. Fuck you, Tony Schiavone.
Well, the problem is that I've never heard someone from from Switzerland actually pronounce it Schiavone. I think that's just something Tony does.
Well, all right then, Mr. Schiavone.
We can go with Schiavone if that works for you.
I've only ever seen it spelled that way one other time, and it's Tony Schiavone, and he's terrible at his job, but I'm going to let this guy slide at least for another 2 minutes.
Well, we'll see. Stefano, let us know in the comments below. How do you say your name? Is it like Tony Schiavone, or is that an Americanism? As Sean Spades getting dove by 2 cars there. Both Matt Higgs and Xavi Castano Muniz going through and forcing him very wide. He rejoins ahead of Schiavone.
I hear that Sean Shades sells seashells by the seashore.
He's going to lose that spot too. And to the back he goes.
No beach property for you, bitch.
Very aggressive move by Matt Higgs, and it paid off. A lot of dust being kicked up as people are taking, I would say, a very qualifying run through that chicane, and I'm not sure that I love it in the long term. I think you're going to pick up on your tires, but the field is still actually pretty close together at this point. Things are all pretty close, except for Josh McLaughlin, who has dropped way back. I don't know what's up with him, but the number 23 Nissan is at the back of the pack, some 7+ seconds behind, almost 8 seconds. Shoulder mark in 5th place. I assume that's not his name, but that's what he has on
Shoulder make. M-A-I-K.
Shoulder make.
It's not shoulder breaker, but it could be.
I'm tempted to say shoulder breaker.
Hell out of milk.
Matt Higgs running in 10th place behind Gary Lynn. That's another car that has a custom livery that we are unfortunately not getting a good look at. Very nice livery put together by the Overclock, or pardon me, not the Overclock crew. Or was it the Overclock crew? No, I think it's the Avengers crew. Good names for the teams, too.
Oh my god, it's your favorite basketball player, Jeremy Lin. Linsanity. Linsanity has arrived, y'all. Actually, I thought that was really funny when Kenyon Martin decided to, take umbrage with the fact that Jeremy Lin had dreadlocks, and then he pulled up a picture of Kenyon Martin with, Chinese tattoos all over him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bruh. But he was very nice. He's like, yeah, bro, I respect you and all this stuff. We could just, be cool together. It'd be awesome. Essentially is what he said after this paragraph. And I think Kenyon Martin kind of got whooped. Killed by kindness.
I mean, Jeremy Lin is a man from an Ivy League education who can play basketball. So, I mean,
yeah.
you don't really want to trade barbs with that.
Yeah, you don't want to. He'll do some quadratic equations and leave your ass in the dust.
Matt Higgs looking for a move on Gary Lynn.
Jeremy.
I mean, there's another. Xavi Castano Muniz has to take evasive action. Didn't seem to really adjust himself to the fact that there was a 2 wide going on ahead of him, and that allows Shivani up into 11th place. Or 12th place, pardon me. Oh, no, it is 11th. It is 11th place. I didn't realize that Higgs had actually gotten past Gary Lynn. Could also be Jerry Lynn. Could be Jerry Lynn.
Could be. I don't think so, but...
Where's Rob Van Dam?
Exactly. Good old Jerry Lynn, most underrated wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
What if Gary Lynn, Jeremy Lynn, and Jerry Lynn all hung out together?
That would definitely be Lynn Sandy.
That would be quite the podcast.
That would be a tremendous podcast. So Higgs now up on the bumper of the Aston Martin, I think, of Aaron Racer. A lot of Aston Martins in the field. It is the go-to car right now. So that is not surprising. We are on board with Michael Magus, running the ESR OTL Nismo.
Good old team Jeremy Lynn for president.
Mm-hmm. I got to get on the qualifying server and do some times. Although I think one of my teammates will be doing the qualifying for the 9-hour because I'm slow. I legitimately think I am the slowest driver on the team, and you can see scientific evidence of this as I am leading a considerable train.
I would like to send a big congratulations out to William Shaner for winning gold medals in shooting. He's an American and perpetuating regional stereotypes.
Down the inside goes Aaron Racer to overtake the Nissan. Matt Higgs looking to try and follow him through. Not yet. Nismo hanging on to what is 8th place at the moment. Gets squeezed down. And Magus hangs on against Higgs. Shivani in the background looking for a move on Gary. Oh no! Gary Lynn gets thrown off.
He's gone insane.
It's Shivani with the chair.
Baga motto.
We'll see where Lynn recovers to, but he'll probably be probably last, except that McLaughlin is way off the pace, so there's something wrong with the second Nissan, the number 23 car, driven by Josh McLaughlin at the moment. He is way behind. Matt Higgs looking for a move. So is Stefano Schiavone. No, there's a third Audi in the field. Somebody destroyed one of the trackside braking markers there. You can see debris from it littering over the NGK chicane.
Actually,
again, I am again using the same track map as last time. I don't know if these are up to date turn names. Nürburgring has this annoying habit.
An explosive device that I planted earlier.
Nürburgring has this annoying habit of changing its turn names based on sponsorship deals. As Matt Higgs absolutely dives deep into that first corner and gets the overtake done on Michael Magus. Not doing the Nissan any favors with that overtake. I think I have to emphasize that in an enduro race, it's actually a lot more important to maintain reasonable relationships with people, because the blue flags tend to come in a lot more, and even slow drivers will affect your race, depending on how you treat them.
That's absolutely not true. You just use cheat codes.
There are no cheat codes in this game, actually.
Not that you know about.
I don't think there are at all.
How do you think Stockfield got so good?
There are certain exploits where certain cars have some settings that really shouldn't work, for lack of a better term. For example, the Porsches for the longest time had an engine mode that in real life would explode the engine over 20 laps, and they were allowed to use it for the longest time, but they finally took that away. It was a demo engine mode that realistically shouldn't have been available in races.
But do they still have the rocket boosters though, right?
No, sir.
What?
Sean Shades on the tail of Michael Magus, battling for that last top 10 spot for the time being. Plenty of time to go, though. We are 12 minutes into a 3-hour race. Plenty of time.
You're gonna be here with us for forever.
Magus squeezes Shades down into turn 1 and is not interested in losing another spot through that turn for the 3rd lap in a row. He says 9.
6. I would like to just state for the record that that car has white and green paint.
Mm-hmm. You liking the Golf Porsche back there?
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, no, because apparently they forgot to put blue on it.
It is blue, but it is a pale eggshell blue.
Yeah, that ain't it, homie. You don't put green on it, and B, you use actual blue.
Well, the green is to differentiate it from its teammate cars. There's a red one. There's a
Not in golf.
Well, when golf has 4 cars, it needs to make some exceptions.
Never.
Sean's Shades losing a spot there to Xavi Castano Muniz in the AXRT crew. The long-standing partnership of Albert Arjona and Xavi Castano Muniz, who take in they've been really cool. I want to shout out those 2 drivers because they've been really good about taking in new drivers, people who are want to learn the Porsche, want to get a larger technical understanding of the game. And Andreas Lasudis, for example, was a Padawan of theirs, a student learning at the knee, and he's done amazing stuff in the 3D Speed series. And as a result, we really do need to thank Albert Arjona and Xavi Castano Muniz for the good work that they're doing.
They will certainly Arjona your skills.
They will. They do seem to be stuck on only running the Porsche, though. So if you're like me and you really don't like the Porsche, they're not super helpful. But you know what? The Porsche is the hardest car to master. It's the one that's always incredibly popular. As I think RC put it at one point, it's the anime main character car. It has that kind of character to it. And as a result, there's a lot of people who come into sim racing that want to run the Porsche. And no matter how many times you tell them it may not be the greatest idea in the world, they will bring it on as Shivani is on the tail of Aaron Racer, trying to catch up to the where he probably thinks he belongs, it seems. I think Shivani was one of the higher rated drivers in qualifying and is trying to make his way back. Matt Higgs is another one trying to do the same and behind him.
I hear that Javier Perez Torres was really pushing to race the Ferrari.
No. Don't even suggest that.
I suggested strongly. Not only that, but I'm stating it as a certified fact.
Javier, I will allow you a 3-year course of steroids to go fight Byron in Costa Rica to avenge this slight against your honor, as Aaron Racer gets overtaken there for 7th place by the Audi of Shivani, and Higgs is trying to once again do the same. Higgs opened the door there previously for Shivani. Shivani not returning the favor. We didn't see how Shivani got ahead of Higgs, actually. It's interesting. But he is now up to 7th place. Higgs is back in 9th. And our leader is still Kevin Braun by some 12 seconds over Fabian Wohlers. So, Nils Sauer getting to watch with bated anticipation. And his teammate is well ahead right now here at the ESR 3 Hours of Nürburgring. Mostly, I think we're seeing a lot of lead drivers right now. Definitely Higgs, Simmons, Murrah. Our guys that definitely fit that bill. Nelson, Racer. Some of the teams really don't have that lead driver field. Xavi Castano Muniz, who we're with right now, is a great example of that. Him and Albert Arjona are you can't see me, but my fingers are really, really close together in terms of like the gap on skill, to the point where it's a track by track basis for them. And I don't know who is the stronger at Nürburgring. I wonder, pop up a little something here, because we might have an answer for that. If the Sunday series has gone to the Nürburgring this season. I'll try and keep an eye on the action while I look it up.
I believe the answer is Grover Cleveland.
Let's see here. Nürburgring. They did not go to Nürburgring this season, so well, there you go. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer for you. Castano Muniz going down the inside of Magus. He will probably get that done. And Magus will look to defend against Sean Shades. And does so successfully. Whatever was wrong with McLaughlin's car appears to have sorted itself out. He's more or less keeping pace now, so...
There's a gopher in the intake.
Could be. They have gophers in Germany?
Marmots, I believe.
So there's still Braun, Wohlers, Murrah, Simmons, Schildermake, Nelson, Schiavone, or Shivani, whichever it is. Racer, Higgs, Castano Muniz, your top 10. Nobody has gotten the second driver in the car yet. So, not that they would have. We're only 20 minutes into a 3-hour affair. So we're about, 1/9 of the way through the race? So, plenty of time. Somewhere around 80 laps still to go here, so... We probably won't see anybody. I think we'll probably see some driver swaps around the 2 hours remaining in the race, would be my guess. If teams have split this up into a 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour type deal. Not that would really work, because it's 100 minutes max, but, you know, you could do like 2 40-minute stints and then one long stint maybe.
I think probably you should swap drivers every 5 minutes to keep people fresh.
Oh, no. You gotta do a pit lane then.
Gross.
Matt Higgs looking around the outside of Aaron Racer, who takes the inside defensive line and defends. I hate to shit on a driver here, but I feel we are seeing some of the limits of Matt Higgs' racecraft here, because we saw Schiavone get around Racer pretty easily. Just by, making the right move at the right time, kind of waiting for an opportunity, whereas Matt Higgs is kind of looking at every turn, every little half gap that presents itself, it's there. It's a kind of sprint racer mentality. It definitely probably serves him well in the sprint race, but in this particular 3-hour scenario, I think he's just using up tires.
I mean, we'd have to get Martin in here to confirm.
Well, Martin would be using up tires just by being Martin.
These are true statements.
Because you can kind of see that Schiavone's pulled out about 2 seconds over the course of 2 laps. Big mistake there by Aaron Racer is going to let Higgs through. Maybe the pressure getting to him. I don't know. That will be 8th place for Matt Higgs. McLaughlin is dropping again. So we saw that Nissan qualify fairly high, but I think it was Jeff Wentworth at the wheel during qualifying. And I think we're seeing a bit of a number 2 driver scenario play out here with McLaughlin not really having the pace as Matt Higgs goes off and enters the pit lane in a most unstandard manner.
And after that, it all went
I wonder if he's going to have to pit off that, because I don't know if he can really get out of the pit lane there. We'll see, but it is possible that Matt Higgs is going to have to do a trip through the pit lane at the very least, if not a pit stop. Probably sooner than he expected or anticipated. But the P is not appearing beside his name, so it looks like he is still out on track. But has dropped behind everyone but McLaughlin. Pick up the battle between Shades and Magus. This is over 10th place. Was over 11th, now it's over 10th. Nissan versus McLaren 720S. One of 2 McLarens in the field, one of 2 Nissans in the field. Notable absences, no Mercedes is here today. No Lamborghinis here today. No Hondas, no Lexuses, no Bentleys. So a lot of the hallmark brands missing from the field. A lot of Aston Martins. We got 5 Aston Martins, so about a third of the grid.
We ain't got no Enzels.
The wings of the Aston Martin. 2 Audis, 2 Nissans, 2 McLarens, 1 Porsche, and 1 Ferrari. That's kind of it.
And that Ferrari is piloted by the man, the myth, the legend, the Mazatlan murder machine himself, Javier Perez Torres.
That's William Murr in this case.
Oh, my bad.
William Murr and Andrew Burke representing the prancing horse.
If we painted a wall in likeness of his, the journey of his life, it would be called a Merle.
Oh, very nice.
I hope you guys really appreciate this. I'm giving up 3 hours of video game time to watch you guys race around a circle.
I mean, with your chair in its current state, would you really be video gaming for 3 hours? Or
God damn it, I'm trying.
Or would this be more of like a video watching time?
It could be either, could be both. Oh, hey, how's it going?
Oh! Shades gets into the back of Magus. Spins him around. The Nissan rejoins.
Yeah, my computer chair exploded. The back is separated from the rest of it, and therefore I cannot safely or in any way, shape, or form do anything except sit straight up. And that's tiring, so I went and grabbed the wooden chair out of the kitchen, and it's not very comfortable. Not comfortable at all. But I have ordered a higher-end, steel-framed office chair from Home Depot. Actually, Home Depot, I'm going to give shout-out to Home Depot right now. They are not a sponsor of anything we're doing.
You were saying they did you a massive solid.
I went on their website, I paid for the shit with PayPal, so I paid cash over the internet from my home. They're going to ship it to my home, not to the store. I don't have to go pick it up. And I got free shipping out of the deal.
This is very nice.
I'm down. I'm now a supporter.
You cannot give a better customer service experience through the web than that, to be honest.
No, I didn't have to talk to anybody. I didn't have to go look around at stuff. I found what I wanted. I paid money for it, and it's coming to my house. Mm-hmm. Not credit, money.
Mm-hmm. Higgs on the tail of Michael Magus and Aaron Racer. Oh, Xavi Castano-Muniz is going to be the first one to go into the pit lane. Interesting. I didn't think we'd see it this early. This is only like a 25 minutes into the race.
Martin always finds a way to get himself in the video, whether he's racing or not.
Mm-hmm. Jack Slack is real angry about Miranda Maverick losing to Macy Barber.
Really?
He's devoting a lot of attention and effort into like explaining how wrong it was.
Awesome. I mean, I agree. I thought she won.
I think everyone is in agreement except for the judges that scored it for Barber.
That's because they got paid off extra.
Someone was giving me a hard time about criticize, well, not giving me, but like giving people like me who were giving off the impression that Barber's post fight, interview was idiotic. I guess is the word I'm looking for. And they're like, "Well, what do you expect you to do?" I'm like, "You know what? It would be fine if this was this was the only time, but this is a woman who has behaved in a misty as fuck fashion in her last 2 losses, and then this one. It's just all the hallmarks of someone who does not actually learn." And
the self-aggrandizement is real.
It's not even the self-aggrandizement. It's just you're not, your grasp on reality is questionable at best. And the thing is that she's a 23-year-old like super athlete by this standards of MMA. She could be very, very good. And the MMA community kind of wants her to be very, very good. And she's doing everything in her power to underachieve. By believing her own hype, by going to Team Alpha Male. And it's not that Team Alpha Male sucks. They do. But it's not that they suck. It's that their history of who they can groom into a good fighter is just, it's not Macy Barber. It's like almost exclusively guys who have a high level wrestling pedigree. And she does not have that. The only exception is basically Andre Feely. Matt Higgs going down the inside of Michael Magus.
Maybe they let her in because her dad's really good at the hand jobs.
And Magus hangs on for the time being. And, I mean, the hand jobs could be part of the equation. It's like every major MMA gym, except for ATT, has, like, a style of fighter that it suits them. Doesn't matter if we're talking about AKA, Alpha Male, Sanford MMA, whatever the case may be. Like, they have a style that suits them. It's even when I can't remember who it was, but there was a fighter who went to TriStar like maybe a year and a half ago, and like I love TriStar. They produce GSP, fucking fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But I said this is an incredibly bad fit, and sure enough, it was an incredibly bad fit. So Magus's Nissan versus the Audi of Higgs. Magus, of course, one of the Audi boosters in the ESR community. So, kind of ironic that he's being hunted by an Audi.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, well, not anymore. Matt Higgs losing control there through the Schumacher S's. Heads off as we head into the RTL curve and the Warsteiner curve, which I believe is your favorite curve, just because it's named after a beer.
Jawohl. Warsteiner is very delectable, yeah?
The other possibility for your best turn is this one here, which is the Advan Bogan turn.
Australians. I have a friend who works for an Australian-based call center. So he gets Aussies calling him up. It's like some sort of garbage pickup or like recycling pickup or whatever. Like if you got a bunch of shit you don't want anymore, they'll come pick it up for you.
Gotcha.
And he gets people who call him up all the time. And as soon as he says, "Okay, let me just run through our price lists and you can tell me what kind of service you want," they flip shit on him because like all of a sudden, what, this is going to cost money?
Well, yes.
Yeah, and so apparently nobody in Australia can pay money for things, and they get very mad if you ask them for money for services rendered. And I told him what bogans were, and so now he repeatedly says bogan, not to them, but to me.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've more than once phoned somewhere up and like been quoted a price that I thought was ridiculous, but like I wasn't aiming for $0.
Yeah. I think they do it by weight, or maybe also by like material.
Sense.
So
Stefano Schiavone has made up another spot, overtaking Dave Nelson. He's doing a great job of rolling through the field. So far, I mean, Kevin Braun deserves a shout out for being out front and doing his thing, being 20 plus seconds out in front.
16 laps ahead.
But I've got to give Schiavone, who got wrecked on lap 1 and has come back to 6th place, a lot of kudos.
I believe the British pronounce that kudos.
Hopefully his teammate, who I am looking up the name of,
Julio.
can do some good work as well. Where is their entry? Where is the Audi? Where is the... Oh, there it is. Piet Wiseman, or Wiesman, is his team.
You're telling me that Braun isn't partnered with anybody named Strowman?
Sadly, no. It's Braun and Sauer.
Wow.
Which, I mean, personally, I think that works pretty well. Checking out Dave Nelson's Optimum Motorsport car. Personally, I think that's one of the uglier Optimum Motorsport liveries. I think the other ones
just because it's generic gray and generic yellow.
I actually kind of like the orange. It catches your eye from a distance in a racing field because it's a bit of a rare color. Like, it's generic, but like it's not commonly used.
I'm going to call this one the John Barker Special. Who also used to race a car exactly the same color.
When did he do that?
It was either Barker or Bay or Butler, one of the two.
I don't recall, but I will take.
It was the one that I kept referring to as the worst looking ice cream flavor I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, that was Butler.
There you go.
That was his Porsche back in the GT4 series.
It was some British bloke with B as the last name.
Happens a lot. We got a lot of B's. We have Baker, Barker, Butler, Bayless. A lot of B's. And a lot of JB's. Although I don't have Cole/Higgs' problem of keeping them straight in my head.
Well, I mean, I just don't talk to them enough to know them individually.
Very true. I do, obviously, as an admin, have a little bit more to do with the common drivers, so maybe that's the key.
Is that because Barker and Butler are constantly just whine and snivel?
No.
I'm kidding.
Both are super cool dudes. Actually,
100% kidding on that one.
Barker's awesome. Butler does cause me some headaches from his driving because he's a very aggressive driver, and as a result, he does end up before the stewards a little bit more often than his average. But he himself also is pretty cool with letting you drive exactly the way he drives against him. So I've always said this. I don't have a problem with an aggressive driver who doesn't mind that you give it back to him. You know, it's if you're gonna dish it out, if you can take it, it's not a problem. Shivani is really pulled away from Dave Nelson here. That gap looks like way more than 2.5 seconds, but that is apparently what it is.
Sir, I believe that's pronounced Skiavone.
Schiavone, Schiavone. We have come up with a lot of pronunciations for you now.
Gonna bring it to you like the bologna from Scavone.
Next on Schiavone's list is Schildermake. In the lead Audi. Oh, there are 3 Audis. I'd said there were only 2 earlier. There are 3.
Schildermake, Strudel Phase, Schildermake. This boy apparently ain't got no first name.
I'm sure he does, but that is the name that Race App gave me, and he did not provide anything additional.
It's Hans or Karl.
Did not provide me any additional ideas. Oh wait, it looks like he has actually changed it. Apparently it's Malik.
Malik. Like Malik Rel, the Gistal Priest.
He has changed his name on Race App because I got the booking here just to keep track of who's partnering with who, so that when the names change over, we're not completely lost. It's Mario Walter and Malik Schild.
Very nice.
So I don't get what the Schilder make is for. I don't know where that came from.
Perhaps he's just a really big fan of something.
Or is that an I? Oh, it's an I. It's Make Schild. So it's his name combined and reversed. Kind of.
Wait, did you just literally mispronounce make, thinking it was Malik?
No, I thought
Where
it
does
was.
the extra friggin'
I
syllable
thought
come from?
the way it was here, it looked like there was an L there. There's no.
Are you on drugs?
Looks. Hey, blame Raceap's text.
Maybe I will.
But it does appear to be M-A-I-K. That
I
is his first
weirdly
name,
do
and his
like
last
the,
name is S. Child.
I kind of weirdly like the off purple, like the very subdued purple he's got going on there in the
I
livery.
kind of wish we got to see what that livery is supposed to look like, because that's another one that's a custom livery that the director doesn't have. Although we don't have that livery at all, so like he did not present a custom livery in his running ones. That's a bit rude. So what happens when you don't have a custom livery on the PC that is spectating is you get this, where there's no decals, it's just kind of like the base layer colors that you set. So it is whatever is custom livery it is these colors. It is the off purple, the white, and the, I guess that's a gold, kind of like a dark gold.
Yeah.
So
Bronze.
that's the colors of his livery, but I have no idea what it looks like beyond that.
I'm gonna go with whatever it is, probably covered in dick pill commercials.
Oh, at some point we got to get Justin to do just the ultimate dick pill car. Justin, if you're watching this, like all the dick pill brands, we need that car. We need that livery. We need it. We have the power. We have the tech. Oh, Schiavone gets in the back of Shouldermake and will take over 5th place, but not in the cleanest performance possible. Dave Nelson running in 7th place. I wonder if he picked up a spot too. Looks like he's going to get by Shouldermake as well. Almost 40 minutes into the race. We still have plenty of time.
I'm slowly customizing my chair. It's really digging into my back, so I got a pillow to put behind my back, and now all I have to do is make the seat comfortable and then put wheels on it and have it recline, and we'll be good to go.
There you go. The do-it-yourself gaming chair.
Jawohl.
I will say that the Titan gaming chair that I have is exquisite. I like it. It's I had a lot of problems with gaming chairs before this one, and this one just like answered them all. Outside of my like bad bout of DBS syndrome, the dead butt. As William Murrah has come into the pit lane, I wonder if that'll be a driver swap or if he's just going to do a double short stint.
I'm just having a look. Oh, my chair has not been shipped yet, although I did order it on a Saturday, so I'm assuming that that's usually fine.
And we are recording this on a Sunday, so.
I got the Flash Furniture black 500-pound high back chair. Bro, if this thing breaks, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do.
What was the full name? I want to look this up now.
I'll just link it to you.
That would be Gazelle.
I'm assuming I'll have to build that shit.
Ooh, that does look cool. That does look comfy.
There was another one that was almost just like it, but the padding on this one was noticeably thicker.
We'll throw a link to it in the description so you guys can see.
Yeah, there you go. You can see what I'm seeing and what I will be seating upon.
Aaron Racer now under pressure from Sean Shades. This is a battle for 6th place after. So Murrah, it looks like they say he's done his pit stop, so presumably Andrew Burke is going to be in that car. But it is still saying that William Murrah is at the wheel of the 961 when you have to switch drivers to complete the mandatory pit stop. It'll be interesting where he comes out in relation to Xavi Castaño-Muniz, who has also been in the pits for presumably just a new set of tires, maybe some damage repairs. He came in very, very early. I wonder if the ARXT guys are going to do a 3-stop strategy. I can't think of why you would want to do that, but maybe the damage was more considerable because they were caught up in that first lap incident. And we're not having the greatest time after that.
Or were they having the greatest time before?
Yeah, I'd say so. They qualified like, what, third place? I'd say they were having fun.
Well, maybe. Just maybe. They should try and do that again.
Sean Spade's down the inside of Aaron Racer. Racer kind of left that open. Could have slammed the door shut. But, of course, with 2 hours plus to go, we are really at the stage of the race where you're not necessarily caring about your position as much as just trying to make fuel numbers, trying to keep the tires nice and lively, getting a good run in. Tires shouldn't be too bad at this point, but we are a little over 40 minutes in. There might be a little bit of drop-off going on. It'd be interesting to see some lap times right now. Oh, wait, I can. Oh, no, I can't because I haven't uploaded the log file yet. That is my mistake.
You're fired.
Can't fire me. No one else will do this job.
That's true.
I have the ultimate job security. No one wants it.
That is 100% true. And if you would like to pay me money, a monthly stipend, to make sure that he keeps doing the job, I'm more than willing to accept it.
I mean, we get you booze sometimes.
That's true.
I mean, we're not paid for this, but we have gotten some fringe benefits.
There are a few perks here and there, yeah.
I got the pedals that the community gratefully bought me.
I heard that those things cost $9,000.
No, not that much, but they were not cheap. They were not cheap. So I very much thank everyone for that, and Byron has, of course, been provided with commentary fuel.
There's been some race fuel here and there. And your boy Martin did drive all the way up here with you, and we hung out for a couple days.
Yes.
And I drank. He brought up some, what I later learned was kind of pricey fucking whiskey, and I will say it was delicious, and he was the one pouring the drinks, and I just kept drinking it, and then later found out how much it cost, and was like, oh no! I think I've done a bad thing.
It was a good journey.
And we got to see the greatest province in the world.
I mean, it was a lovely. The countryside is lovely.
Yeah, the highway north and south goes pretty much along the Fraser River, not exclusively, but pretty close.
My uncle was loved I sent a bunch of pictures, obviously, just of people, things, and so on, back to the people back here, and my uncle loved it. He's a big fan of. He works at a tree nursery. Actually, there is a species of boxwood that is named after my uncle. So
very nice. I bet you something boxwood. Right.
I would have to dig through my my text messages.
Sexual joke.
To find it, because he did send me the full name, but I would be lying if I said I could remember it. So Gary Lynn is kind of forming a bit of a train here to get back to the racing action. Michael Magus has caught him, Josh McLaughlin has caught him, and Matt Higgs is just behind there in the Audi. Magus looking to the inside of Lynn, nothing doing. In the RTL curve, and then into the Warsteiner curve. Fabian Wallers Fabian, could be either.
Fabulous.
Is in the pit lane. Mike Magus has got a bit of a run here into the NGK chicane. Will he do it?
Get him! Got him!
He's got it! Gets it in nice and tight. Beautiful overtake. Left no doubt about it for Gary Lynn. Josh McLaughlin trying to do the same into the Coca-Cola curve. Gets the job done.
It's what beer drinkers drink when they're not drinking beer, Motul.
Both Nissans plowing through on Gary Lynn there.
Michael Magus all up to the top 10. He's here it comes, gonna harpoon a guy in the corner.
Matt Higgs trying to go around the outside of turn 1. I don't think that's on, Matt. I don't think that's on.
Here's what we're gonna do, Mike. You ready?
Okay.
We're gonna take auctioneer lessons. We'll do a whole commentary doing auctioneer voices.
That could be interesting.
Oh, no, I'm going to come around the corner, Yeah, he's going to second first, third gear. Here we go.
So we have our second driver swap. Woolers has gotten out of the car and will be replaced by, let me find him on the entry list here. That'll be Dispeta, who will be into the car. Again, I assume that is not the actual name of the driver, but we work with what we are given.
His real name is Adolf Schickelgruber.
There it is. See if he comes out ahead of Andrew Burke, because Woolers and Murrow were fighting over second place. Not particularly heatedly, but they were in the same section of tracks, so it'll be interesting to see if the pit stops have provided a reversal on that. Josh McLaughlin staying on the tail of fellow Nissan driver Michael Magus. Battle for 8th place on track. Flashing his headlights. Stefano Schiavone's into the pit lane. See if that's a driver swap or just a new set of tires for the Swiss driver.
Was this about a gender swap?
Driver swap, not gender swap.
Oh.
McLaughlin doing a 58.8 that time around. Quite a ways off his best lap, but that could be being stuck behind Magus, or that could be drop off of tires, whatever the case may be. They still won't be terribly low on fuel if they went heavy at the start. These cars, it would have been. I think a lot of the teams would have gambled on trying to make a one-stop work, even though it's not really possible. So I suspected most of the cars were fairly heavy on fuel at the start. As into the pit lane comes Kevin Braun, your race leader.
I believe there may be some thunder outside.
Mike Magus defending. What kind of thunder are we talking about here? Big.
The kind of
big
like
thunder?
Sound waves after electrical discharge.
So you're saying you got a storm on the horizon?
That's very possible. Either that or Garth Brooks is in town.
Could be. So we do have a driver swap for the 999 car of Stefano Schiavone. That'll be Piet Wiseman taking over, or Wiesman.
Wheat boy.
Ride in the passenger seat of Michael Magus.
Oh, no.
ESR OTL Nismo.
Wheat in German is Weiss. To get a Weiss beer. I fucked that up. I've been fucking it up the whole time. God damn it.
On board with Dispater, who's recently gotten into the 93 car and is looking to cut his way past Gary Lynn, and does so at the Advin Bogan curve.
What happens if
He's dropping behind.
What happens if he runs out of gas? Would you say his forward momentum might dissipate?
He might. Josh McLaughlin into the pit lane.
Michael Magus in the 7th place. Oh my god, he's going to win the whole thing.
As well as Aaron Racer. Actually, I believe Magus will move into 6th place shortly.
There it is.
Overtaking Aaron Racer, who's in the pit lane.
Everybody must finish their drinks because Michael Magus predicted the fucking future.
I did. Matt Higgs on the tail. Stunningly, this is the first time I think Higgs has really made any kind of forward momentum since the start of the race. He's been struggling. He's in 7th place now. It's a 14-car grid, so top half. But he's also got to make a pit stop at some point, and at some point he's going to have to give this car over to the younger driver of this team, the junior partner, Mika Wood, who I don't know if he's done any kind of endurance racing in the past. We do have a driver swap for the 19, the car that is effectively leading this race. Kevin Braun is given over to Nils Sauer. Max Simmons is up in front now. Has not pitted. And I guarantee you, if there is one driver in this field that's going to try and make a one-stop work, it's Max Simmons.
Hell yeah, that boy ain't going to stop until like 2 hours and 58 minutes.
Well, he can only go 1 hour and 40 minutes into the race. But
1 hour, 36 minutes. Then he will slow down.
Matt Higgs destroying some braking markers there as he goes off the track. And the pressure is off Magus for now. Although it should be mentioned that Dispater, who is behind him, is on fresh tires. I expect that 93 car will catch up to him pretty quickly.
Unlikely. I heard that this Michael Magus kid might be the fastest man that ever laced up a pair of footballs.
Definitely incorrect in any statement.
What? How many people do you know laced up some footballs?
I actually did lace up a football once.
Did you use a granny net?
We literally the laces had broken off of my friend's San Francisco 49ers ball, and he wanted to keep it, but we couldn't really, it had no laces. We need the laces. So me and him actually looked up online how to relace a football.
Nice.
And we did it.
And were the laces out, Marino?
Laces were out. Laces were out, Marino.
Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is a man!
He was the weirdest football fan I ever knew. I knew him from like second grade onwards, and he was a massive football fan and a massive nerd. Like it was, like we're talking gifted program. Actually, the funniest story I have of his is he was really, really, really proud of the fact that he got into the University of Waterloo, which up here in Canada is a pretty big deal. And one of our female friends who was not thought to be tremendously intelligent, but really was if you got to know her, came running up with her acceptance letter. I got into Waterloo, and he looked so disappointed. So, like,
She's one of those
his
genius
moment
kids
was
that,
crushed.
She's probably one of those genius kids that, unless you were speaking about the thing she wanted to know about, then she just didn't have a clue.
Peta gets past Mike Magus. It wasn't so much that. It was that she just didn't have a very scholarly way of conducting herself, I guess.
So she had Asperger's.
No. She just never came off as supremely intelligent. But if you ever, if you ever got her in depth in conversation,
That's what I'm saying.
You would quickly realize
If you ask her specifically about the 14th page of the quadratic equation, she probably.
Oh no! Like if you asked her about anything, like you would get the deep thinker. You just had to actually engage her in conversation. And this particular person that we were talking about, the male in this story,
the man,
just did not talk to girls ever. He was kind of Sheldon Cooper-esque.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Big Bang Theory. They get the guy who's like really intellectual but really really weird.
Oh, is that like the sitcom they spun off the Gang Bang Theory?
Yes, totally.
The mainstream spin-off for the Gang Bang Theory?
Yeah, totally.
Awesome.
Also, how has the Gang Bang Theory not become a porn parody?
I have to assume
someone get on that.
I have to assume that has been the case.
There is money to be made.
Also, I have to assume that somebody's made Friends with benefits.
Probably.
I don't know how you do Seinfeld, though.
Seinfeld's a tough one.
Seinfeld's?
Kind of weak.
I don't know. There's like you have to either work with Sein or Feld. Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Seinfeld me up.
I guess. No, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Grindfeld.
Mike Magus and Matt Higgs continuing to battle over 6th position.
You should get some more positions.
Further back, we saw the Piet Weisman car battling with Aaron Racer over 11th place. Racer has pitted, but is still in the car. So it looks like he's just running a double stint as Sean Shades is into the pits.
Sean Shelby.
Sean Shelby, you devious bastard.
What about Carol Shelby?
Great racer, great car designer.
From the historical drama Ford versus Ferrari versus Zolder versus Zonda.
I mean, it's a pretty accurate film. I've said this before on our commentary, but the Ford v Ferrari, there are certain licenses taken, obviously, to make it a more interesting story. Matt Higgs flashing his headlights.
I mean, it's not quite as accurate as the historical drama Driven, but it's not bad.
Whoa, okay, Driven is one of the most preposterous racing films of all time. The only accurate thing that they got in Driven was that Paul Tracy and Michael Andretti hit each other in the pits. That was it, because those two did not get along.
Well, next you're going to try and tell me that the historical drama Days of Thunder is not real either.
I mean, better than Driven, worse than Ford v Ferrari.
But what about Drive? Or is it Driver? The Driver?
I'm not sure.
Ryan Gosling.
Sure. Oh, I never saw it.
It's good. It's one of those you have to just make everybody shut up so you can sit there and concentrate and watch the movie, because it's not flashy. It doesn't move fast.
Wiseman's still unable to get past Aaron Racer here.
The soundtrack's banging.
Not really sure who would have. I would assume Wiseman has the advantage here. He's fresh in the car. Racer's on similar tires, but has been in the car for 50 plus minutes at this point. So you would think that Wiseman may be a little fresher, maybe a little bit more amped to prove himself. But at the same time, Racer's in a good groove. So I don't know really who has the advantage there. Shades has somehow gotten out ahead of them. So Sean Shades has been doing some really good work and has swapped the car over to Tom Ferber now and has actually come out ahead of them. So the long run for Shades has worked out really, really well. I wonder if some of these guys who blinked early and went into the pits are going to kind of regret it, because it looks like maybe some of the pace got picked up as the fuel load went down. Mike Magus running a reasonable lap for him, 58.9, but he is one of the slower cars out there. The Nissan is... Oh, Matt Higgs spinning around. The Nissan is one of the weaker cars in the GT3 classification in ACC. It's a car that doesn't really do particularly well in any kind of broad technical category, but it is really fun to drive, and that is what I will defend the car choice with. Although it was technically RC Guerin who made the Nissan choice for our team for the 9-hour, and we're just kind of getting some practice time with a car that is much loved, but not a lot of great results within the ESR community.
Well, that sounds like maybe you need to diversify your bonds.
What would you look for in a car, Byron? I know you're not really
tires.
You're not a race car driver, but like if you were for a moment, let's say you were really into sim racing, what kind of car would you want? Like what is the feel? Would you want something you could just throw around all over the track, or does it have to be something really smooth?
I mean, ideally the thing would just respond to whatever I wanted it to do. I'm looking for
highly responsive.
Yeah, I want to be able to put the pedal down and have it go forward whenever I want it to, and be able to get out and around people when I want to, not when it's like, oh, I gotta warm the car up a little ways, and I gotta make sure that the car is okay, and it's not gonna be
Wiseman going down the inside of Racer, a little bit of contact. Not the cleanest overtake, but Wiseman gets the job done.
I salute you.
So it seems like Byron would favor a car with a great deal of response and good downforce. So I think we'd get two main things.
I don't want to have to shift up 3 gears 2 corners beforehand, just so I know the car is going to be not mean to me and go just kind of slog out so I can't get around somebody.
Dave Nelson in the pits along with Michael Magus. So who has not pitted yet? We've got Max Simmons, Matt Higgs have not pitted. I think those are the only 2 cars, actually.
And then
873 car has pitted and changed drivers. That was the car priorly driven by Make Shield. Mario Walter taking over. Looking for the Dave Nelson car. Looks like he's going to do a double shift. He is still shown as in the car.
Quadruple shift.
Oh, wait, no, it's got the green beside him, so that is a driver swap, and we just haven't gotten confirmation yet. So Dave Nelson handling the car over to Jeff Hancock's.
Just had me a little bit of a power flicker. If I happen to dramatically disappear at some point or be unresponsive, I'm rebooting.
All right. And I will try to be as entertaining as possible as a one-man booth.
And just do what I do. Make shit up.
I mean, let's be honest here. I also make shit up. We're going through.
Yeah, like
we're
not
trying to
being a
find stuff to
Steelers
talk
fan,
about.
He denies that every time.
I am not a Steelers fan.
See what I'm saying? He's sticking to the bit.
Fuck Roethlisberger.
Wow, he's committing hard this week.
I actually was a Steelers fan back in the 90s. I really appreciated their linebacking core.
But then
Still,
they
I would
hired a
say-
black coach, and Mike's not a fan.
No. It's just the players I like slowly stop being on the team.
Yeah, Hines Ward.
Well, no, this was before Hines Ward. Their
French's
big
Ward.
receiver, their big receiver at the time I liked them was Yancey Thigpen.
Oh man.
But really, I just love the four-man linebacking core of Chad Brown, Levon Kirkland, Greg Lloyd, and Kevin Green. That was, I don't care what anyone else says, that was the best linebacking core in NFL history.
Wrong, but fair enough.
I mean, okay, best linebacking core of my lifetime. There we go.
Are you saying
There may have been something better before I was even a gleam in my dad's eye.
Are you saying that the great AJ Hawk ain't even on the list?
I like AJ Hawk, big fan.
Are you saying that the
But
other
he was
guy
never
with
part of a
long
great
hair-
core.
Don't even remember.
You think he'd Clay Matthews?
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, I mean AJ Hawk, Clay Matthews was a good duo, but there was no one additional to it. You know, to be a core, there's got to be at least three, like, if not Hall of Fame candidates. Then the Nissan is at the side of the road there, having pulled off. Don't know what's up with that. Well, I do, but I'm trying not to spoil. You know what?
Everybody does.
Since this doesn't really resolve itself. The problem here is, and you'll see this in detail on the onboard over on my NeoDread Gaming channel. We swapped drivers. I gave the car to Javier Perez Torres. Javier went out, realized his wheel had no force feedback whatsoever. It was just a dead wheel. He parked the car, unplugged the wheel, plugged it back in, trying to get it to work, and then his game crashed. And as a result, we had to DNF, because at some point here you'll see a DQ appear beside my car, because I had to DQ the car to get it off the track.
Oh man.
And unfortunately, that was the end of our day. So all that work, and I got to go out there for an hour, and then had to retire the car.
And then we threw it right in the boot.
So we're going to do some testing to see if we can figure out why that happened. That's why if you look on ACC right now, the server is actually still up. Me and Javier are going to see if we can replicate the conditions and maybe make a video about it to help people avoid that in the future. But
Stay tuned to Javier on board.
I do kind of feel like I do kind of feel like the answer is really it was a freak problem and not one that anyone needs to worry about, but just throwing it out there that we will be trying to make it happen again to see if it's if it's something with the particular brand of wheel that Javier has or what the deal is.
I believe it's probably because he lost all feeling in his body.
You can see our car is still there, actually. Even with the DQ, it did not put our car back in the pits, which is a bit weird. Down the inside goes Ferber on Hancock. McLaren on McLaren action, and the 42 goes ahead, or the 722 goes ahead of the 42.
Well done, Furburger.
Mm-hmm. So there are 4 cars that still have to pit again. Simmons, well, in the case of Simmons and Higgs, they need to pit for the first time. Castano Muniz and Racer need to pit again because they do still need to do a driver swap. They have done a pit stop, but the fact that their second drivers have not come into the car yet does mean that they're not legal at this point. Although, it should be mentioned that all of these cars actually will have to pit again because there's too much time left in the race, as one of the McLarens is at the side of the road there. Was that Ferber? Tom Ferber off, and Jeff Hancock's off as well. What's going on here?
Perhaps he's more used to racing the Nürburgring.
Maybe. So we're down to 13 cars. Max Simmons still has the lead, although it should be mentioned It's by virtue of going exceedingly long. Well, not even that long. He's actually a little over an hour in the car, but everyone else has given up on the one-stop strategy except for him and Matt Higgs, and it has produced a race-leading scenario for Max Simmons.
In other news, this chair absolutely sucks. So I'm going to pull around one of the armchairs because it is at least comfortable.
True. Also, just looked at the PM you sent me, the guy throwing the football into the launching machine. That's pretty cool.
That is your hero, Tom Brady.
It is. Although it's not my hero.
Mike will never tell you this, but his whole place used to be wall-to-wall Patriots, and now it's wall-to-wall Buccaneers.
I've never really been big on the stuff on the walls, to be honest.
What about all the spray paint and the pentagrams?
As a kid, I had some Star Trek stuff up on my walls, like some posters, and some Blue Jays pennants. That's about it, really. Currently on my walls, there are two pictures. One is of Paul Tracy. It is a signed picture of his Team Cool Green car. Very nice. And my roommate, or my cousin, I say roommate, my cousin randomly, my aunt randomly found my cousin's old Jeff Gordon plaque, and he gave it to me because he's not really. Honestly, in his words, he's like, I don't even remember why I have this, and that's up on the wall now, and that's it. And they're over by the racing PC. Obviously. I do have a giant Brett Favre photo, but it is stored at a friend of mine's place because I don't really want to put it up in any of the rental apartments I've had.
Is it a regular photo or one of the ones they sent that lady?
Regular photo.
So not Dick out then.
As Tom Ferber messes up entering the Coca-Cola curve and has a trip across the sand.
I need somebody to do that.
Not dick out, non-dick pic.
I need somebody to get one of them photos and get a stock, like, promotional photo of Brett Favre and do a little Photoshop action and then get the man to sign it.
My mom had found it at an auction and got it for me. It's a very nice picture. I don't have a good place to put it.
You should put it directly over one of your 15 monitors.
That would be a bad idea.
Probably. But it is an idea.
Yeah, the wall space around here it's not really an option. Like, those who are unaware, I basically live in one room. So it's a bedroom, gaming room, workout room. It's multi-utilitarian, and as a result, there's not a lot of space for anything.
Michael literally lives in a barn.
I would take that.
That would be an interesting existence.
I would take that trade. Tom Ferber in 9th place ahead of Jeff Hancock's. I think everyone's more or less in the position that they are in, with the exception of Simmons and Higgs. Simmons is definitely not in the lead. I think the 19 car of Sauer and Braun is definitively our race leader. They just need to, cycle back to that lead point. I have no idea where Higgs fits because I have no doubt that he's out there putting up some pretty respectable times, despite the fact that his tires are notably older. But at the same time, he was having such a weird race before that I don't know where he fits.
He fits directly in the pits.
Well, at some point he'll be in there.
He better get there quick, otherwise he gonna get fired. Don't
check out Andrew Burke in the AF Corsa Ferrari.
Isn't it pretty close to the time limit for? No, never mind. You got like 20 more minutes, right, for drivers?
It's 100 minutes, but most of the drivers have swapped at this point, and they're on number 2.
Is there a limit to how many swaps you can have?
You can have unlimited swaps, but you're obviously having to pit to do each swap. So obviously you want to do it with as few swaps as possible. The only people who are flirting with the time limit right now are Higgs and Simmons, Castano Muniz, and Racer. You can see they're the ones with the 1 beside their name. Those are the guys that haven't actually done a driver swap yet.
I'd like to say that I am supremely disappointed with Matthew because he's never bothered to go out and find a partner with the last name Boson.
Oh Lord, someone needs to do that.
I mean, I understand that it took him 6 years to get his own desk together, and then couldn't be bothered to put his any racing rig parts together on his own, and his dad had to do that
Oh,
and
speaking of
stuff. But at least do the partner thing.
what happened there with Matt Higgs? He just gave fourth place to Andrew Burke.
Probably bribery.
I mean, he's not really racing Burke, so it's not necessarily actually a bad move. It just seemed weird.
He probably took $50 on the slide.
Literally came to a stop there and let the AF Corsa Ferrari through.
In the course of Ferrari.
Matt Higgs, by the way, picked this Audi because it's golf colors.
I appreciate that, but he is a reckless human being.
Which is, we got to ask the question: which one does it better, the Porsche, or the Audi? Which one's got the golf colors?
I mean, I think they both totally fail in regards to the blue.
No, I figured that would be your answer, but like if you got to choose,
see. Here's the deal. I think the green on the other one's absolute garbage. I think the black on this one's good, but I think the orange on the other one's better. So it's kind of like they both done it wrong enough.
You would take elements from both, is what you're saying.
I would eliminate elements from both.
Well, that too.
See that black stuff? Make that either orange or blue. And not that blue. It ain't no powder blue.
Yeah, it needs to be a bit of a darker blue.
It's baby blue.
Max Simmons is still out there, so for those wondering, the limit on driver time will come up with 1 hour and 20 minutes remaining in the race. So 26 minutes and change from now, but 26 and a half minutes is when we'll have the limit. Matt Higgs finally in the pit lane and having a little bit of problem with the wall there.
Well, yeah, because the wall won't have any problem with him.
And also, when we hit 1 hour 40 left will be when Simmons can come in, transfer over to his co-driver, and have him do the one-stop strategy all the way to the end. That would be the timings we're looking at here. So Higgs did not quite make it that far.
Damn it, Higgs! What are you doing?
It is a weird time to pit, to be honest. I'm not fully following the number 10 car's strategy right now. It almost feels like Higgs has just realized that they can't really do it on one pit stop. Because this race is really more than 2 tanks of gas in length, so you really do have to do 2 stops.
Mike, I noticed you mentioned the football gif, but you didn't mention the other one.
Oh yes, well I mean that goes without saying.
I figured it would, but I noticed that it did go without saying.
Well, I just said I believe it. I believe it could have gone without saying.
It could have, and so far it has.
So we're missing a couple of cars from the field today. Of course, 3 teams unable to show up: Logan Sword, Richard Valentine. I know that team was taken out by technical gremlins. Pascal Bayer and Blader did not make the race. I don't know what the story with them is, as well as COVID-91 and X0.
What was this about Pascal?
Which is the most interesting names team we have. We'll leave it at that.
I'm down with that. COVID-91 OP. But I've been vaccinated, bitch.
I have as well.
I got 5 in each arm. I can't be stopped. I'm gonna become the Nemesis thing from Resident Evil.
Yeah. Well, the whole vaccine thing is actually screwing up RC. She can't go live with Silent Jack because Silent Jack can't be vaccinated. He has some kind of medical condition. He had he got vaccinated and had a terrible reaction to it.
He got the bone hurting juice. Well, Well, I mean,
So
I had not a great
they
reaction.
they have medically actually recommended he don't get the second vaccine. So
What
he
is
is in the rare.
what's the effect on that? Like, so you got half of like the thing. Does it just not work here on out, or does it only work a little bit?
It works. It works, but it won't work at the same level as if you got double shotted.
I say go
But
for it.
yeah, he actually has the medical exemption, for lack of a better term,
Exunt.
for the vaccine.
He's got the medical consumption.
Jeff Wentworth is in the car trying to battle with Mika What. So battle two guys who know each other pretty well. They've been scrapping in the 3D Speed series where Mika is in a Lexus and Jeff Wentworth is driving a Mercedes. And of course, Wentworth recently took home. I am a little angry that I don't remember what position he was. I want to say third in the 3D Speed series.
I'm going to go with the fact that you know exactly what position he is in because you have one of them photogenic memories.
No,
and you're just trying to cover up right now.
I literally didn't. It was third. I was right, but I did not actually remember.
He didn't even look that up. He knew.
I remembered that Matt Higgs won the championship, so
that's not true.
Kudos Higgs. I remembered I won the silver championship and finished 6th overall.
And next year, when you race it with the Zonda, you're gonna win everything.
Actually, next season I'm debating a Honda NSX run because the Honda has gotten very, very little love from the ESR community, and kind of like when I originally partnered up with Paul Riccobeni and Javier Perez Torres in the Lexuses. The idea then was to bring a car that I thought people were overlooking into the spotlight, and it worked because a lot of people have actually picked up the Lexus since. So I'm kind of aiming to do the same thing with the Honda, although admittedly the Lexus I think has a lot more upside than the Honda. I think the Lexus is an incredibly good learner's car. Whereas I think the Honda does have some tracks where it's going to be very, very painful. But I'm debating it. I'm debating trying to make that run. Depending on if I end up still silver or pro. If I'm pro, I think I'll kind of take it more seriously. Not in the sense of I'll try harder, but I'll pick a solidly competitive car. Whereas if I'm in the Silver Cup running, I'll grab the Honda probably. And try to make a run. Depends if anyone's willing to, take that challenge on with me. So, if you too would like to see more Honda NSXs in ESR competition, let me know and we can make that happen. Or we can do our damnedest to make that happen.
You think they make Hondas in Honduras?
They do. There is a Honda plant in Honduras.
Are they extra special because of the synergy?
I don't think they're extra special.
Well, god dang it.
What? Moving through there on Jeff Hancock's. Hancock's kind of let them through there. I'm a little confused at some of the people really just kind of getting out of the way here of cars that they are pretty legitimately racing. I'm very confused by that. But that is what it is. Sauer, by the way, is in the lead. Simmons has finally pitted and given the car over to Adam David Brosh. It's the 420 Aston Martin, which is in 5th place currently. So it is Sauer, Pater, Burke. Castano Muniz is up to 4th place. Adam David Brosh, Piet Wiseman, Aaron Racer, Tom Ferber, Mika Watt, Jeff Wentworth, your top 10. Hancock's, Kerry Arnault, and Mario Walter still circling. Although Walter appears to be very, very, very off the pace. Not sure what's up with that.
But is he the welterweight champion?
Is he the welterweight champion? That's more than
well, he'd take a bit of a slapping on that one.
What goes wide and Jeff Wentworth up the inside. By the way, you're actually currently feuding with Walter in the Doug wrestling.
Oh, very nice. I mean, we'd all know that, except he never updates the fucking Discord.
Yeah, he's very lazy about that.
Well, I can't.
Doug, we're calling you out, Doug. We're currently both doing a singles thing because for the you were of course injured for a while, and I went and did the AEW singles thing where I destroyed Jack Evans once again. And he's just kind of decided to keep doing that. You're doing a European tour where you're feuding with Walter.
Nice.
And I am still doing the AEW feud where I'm feuding with Jon Moxley right now.
Can I also be feuding with Ilya Dragunov?
I assume that's where he's going next. The feud started in an interesting way. Walter came out during one of your during an address with his belt. He walked right up to you and like smoothed some wrinkles out of your jacket and just like nodded and then walked off. And that was the beginning of the feud.
I like it.
One of those ones that has like no real story. It's just I want to wrestle you repetitively.
Shit's on. Let's do this. Okay. If you have to find out which one of us is the Führer. And now we come to the part where it all went Jeff Worth.
Mm-hmm. He did completely rip off the Expanse for the line that started my feud with Moxley.
Oh yeah.
Moxley
Were you
just found
mailing home to your wife and kid?
No, Moxley found me backstage and looked at me and just went, "I have a feeling that you and I are going to get bloody sometime." And I just went, "I'm free now. Why not now?"
And then cut to the highlight package that's just Slayer's Rain in Blood and then violence.
Mm-hmm. So we are now about 17 minutes away from the maximum race length for Xavi Castano-Muniz and Aaron Racer. They will at some point have to give up their cars, but are currently running in 4th and 7th. Jeff Wentworth is trying to make something out of this terrible day for Nissan, where one car was forced to retire and the other car has had a rough time, as Josh McLaughlin had a rough first stint and a rough second stint. Wentworth is now in the car and looking to do some things.
Wentworth
may be able to go to the end. I didn't catch when he got in the car. But we are within the 100 minutes remaining in the race, so he may be able to go to the end without swapping drivers. I think he's the
I thought he was only in the race early, wasn't he?
No, McLaughlin started the race.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was Wentworth qualifying then?
Yeah, Wentworth qualified the car, but McLaughlin started it.
It's like I was sure I'd seen that name early on in the race.
So he might be the only one that doesn't need to swap before the end of this one. I think everyone else does have to do another swap. Maybe not Adam David Rush. It's possible that he might be able to also go to the end, because Simmons was pretty much the last one to pit.
Because if you don't swap on time, we put sugar in your gas tank.
So it's possible that Simmons got 100, or well, not 100 minutes, but got to 100 minutes left in the race. So 80 minutes in. And doesn't have to come back in again. Though I'd assume that they would want to get him back in there, because Simmons has shown real pace and has had, honestly, kind of a star-making performance here. It seems weird that they would want Adam David Brosh to take the lion's share of this particular race.
What about the Sloth Bear share?
Oh, boy.
What about the Rattling share?
Rattlings!
Michael's favorite Warhammer faction.
Well, they're not a faction. You're thinking of the Skaven.
Same thing.
Oh, have I ever told the story of how I ended up with a Skaven army, actually?
They just came up through the drain in your house like Skaven
No.
do.
No. So there was a comic book shop near my house growing up for the longest time. It was Millennium Comics and it was Conspiracy Comics. And it was there, and I went in there every day after school to, pick something up or just look at stuff or just talk to some of the employees that were pretty friendly. And there was an employee there named Mike, and I was like in my early 20s. I came in. I'm like, Mike, how much for that box of Skaven? And he's like, oh, it's got a price tag on it probably. I'm like, yeah, but let's be real. That box is Skaven, and I can tell because there's some specific damage to the corner of that box. That box has been up there for like 3 years. How much for the box? That's how I ended up with the Skaven army.
Let's get down to brass tacks. How much for the ape?
Let's be real. You've not sold that for 3 years. What is the actual price?
$75,000 because it's vintage now.
Looks like we've lost Mario Walter effectively at some point because he appears to be just way down in the order at this point. Kerry Arnaud is in the pit lane again. So, bit of an early stop for him. He didn't get in the car that long ago. This is Kerry Arnaud's first experience with ESR ACC, by the way. He's been a loyal member of the ESR race room side of things. But him and Gary Lynn making an ACC debut here.
Joke's on them. We're all switching over to the original Gran Turismo, and we're all getting the PlayStation 1s out.
Someday. As we've been following the majestic Nissan of Jeff Wentworth for a while. Holding off Mika Watt. Actually, he overtook Mika Watt, so I shouldn't really say holding off, because in theory, I wonder, is that gap growing? Was at 1.542. Let's see if it's grown in the last sector here. There we go, and there we go. Yeah, it has grown actually up to 2.4104. So he is pulling away, probably at a couple of tenths a lap. I think he does have some of the fresher tires out there. Assuming he did a tire swap. I don't see why you wouldn't do a tire swap with each pit stop in this race, because there's more than enough tires. Because we didn't have to do practice on these sets of tires, so presumably everyone had about 6 sets of fresh tires at the start of this race, which is enough to do 30 minutes on each set. Riding on board with Andrew Burke, running in 3rd place. That car started by William Murrah, who will at some point have to get back in the car. And then back to Jeff Wentworth in the Nissan. Xavi Castaño Muniz is into the pit lane. That'll be for a driver swap to Albert Arjona, one of only 2 cars that has not done a driver swap yet. The other one is the 7th place, number 99 car of Aaron Racer, who at some point will have to switch with I don't know who, because the name they have here on Race App is not the name they race under. So we'll find out when they swap as to who the second driver is.
Joke's on you. They've got bots racing both times.
Kerry Arnaud has exited the car and given it back to Gary Lynn. I wonder if Arnaud is having problems akin to what we saw with Javier Perez Torres earlier. Jeff Hancock making another run through here. Currently in 10th place with, that is Mika Watt on his tail, so he's overtaken him relatively recently. Or no, that's not Mika on his tail. That is Albert Arjona. Pardon me, the other golf car. Followed by one of the Aston Martins that is running a custom livery, but one that we are not able to appreciate right now. That could be the race leader, Nils Sauer. We've honestly actually not seen the race leader's car this whole time. I think it's that yellow Aston Martin, but they have not been the point of focus at all this race. They've been tremendously far ahead. Although right now they're only about 4 seconds ahead of Dispater in second place.
Perhaps they're trying to dissipate the lead.
Could be. Jeff Hancock's still holding down a top 10 for him and Dave Nelson.
George Nelson.
No, Dave.
Babyface Nelson.
Oh, I think we have a new nickname for Dave.
Well, it doesn't even have to be George, though. That was Babyface Nelson's first name.
That's true.
And then he'd have to rob a lot of banks.
We can still make it work.
Start robbing banks.
So blue flags will be out here shortly for Arjona and Hancock's as Dispater hits the pit lane. That is Nils Sauer in the background in the golden Aston Martin, who is flashing his headlights with, I would say, a little bit early here. I mean, the blue flags would have just been out recently. Hancock's getting out of the way of Arjona there. I wonder if he thought Arjona was the blue flag source. Andrew Burke also in the pits. Generally, you're allowed 3 passing opportunities before you have to give way under blue flags. That is a sort of rule of thumb, to be honest. And also, I would say that considering that the car behind Sauer's in the pit lane, and we'll probably see Kevin Braun, who was absolutely destroying the field earlier, back in this car at some point, I would say that's a little bit impatient by Sauer. But to each their own.
I'd appreciate it if the man in first place could potentially find a partner named Sig.
That'd be cool.
Would indeed be cool. But we can't get a bosun because Higgs is too fucking lazy to get off his ass and recruit.
Get out there. You're looking for a specific man, Higgs. Aaron Racer is flirting with that time limit. I mean, he does have some time, 5.5 minutes to go. Probably can do this. Oh, whoa! Fabian Woller's having a moment, shall we say?
I appreciate the hacks. Well done, sir. Well done.
Well, this would be a lag problem.
No. Maybe. Probably.
This is, of course, the hazards. Oh, one of the Aston Martins off the track there. Sure who that is. That's that pink. Oh, that's the overclock car. That's Adam David Brosh. And he'll get overtaken by Fabian Wohlers for 3rd position for the time being. Adam David Brosh is improving rapidly. I've noticed his progress in the Sunday series. He's been doing notably better there than when he made his debut in the ESR Academy a little while ago. Kind of on a trajectory of a Chris Stevens or a Demetrius Simeonitis. Those kind of drivers who just seem to gobble up information and get better and better and better and better until they're threatening to take podiums and stuff.
I ain't seen Demetrius in forever and a half.
He is on military service.
Wow. Was that because it's like one of those go to jail or go to the military things?
Yeah. Mandatory military service.
And not in the American way, like they just put criminals in the military?
Correct.
It's like one of those patriotic, like, go to the military or go to jail?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Nils Sauer leading the way.
Maybe he's going to be the next. He's going to be the racing equivalent of the Korean Zombie.
Well, any of the Korean fighters, really.
Correct.
Korean Superboy.
Dong Hyun, Stun Gun Kim.
Stun gun, yeah. Some Fabian Wilders going through there, passing. That might have been for position. Not entirely sure who that is. This is what happens when you guys have custom liveries and then don't provide them. Might have been Walter down there in 12th place, though. I don't think it was Wiseman. Tom Ferber in 7th place. Looking back. Now, Aaron Racer's got to pit soon. Within the next 2 laps, he's running out of time if he doesn't want to violate his maximum driving limit. So we are approaching the 100-minute mark of this race. Thanks for sticking with us.
There's only 1 minute and 22 seconds left. But the clock's running really slow.
Nils Sauer probably wishes. I mean, he would take a win. Along with Kevin Braun. I will say that my butt kind of wishes. After this, I'm going to have to get up and walk around a little bit.
I'm going to get up and do 1,000 jumping jacks. And then 5,275 handstand diamond push-ups.
I'll do my my DBS exercises to kind of resurrect the S.
That man went off the track.
He did. He did.
Whose man's is that?
I'm not sure. Again, this is the problem with the custom liveries, not giving me much to work with. Who is the golden Aston Martin? Aaron Racer, by the way, into the pit lane. I think it's not Adam David Brosh. It's not Woolers. It's not Sauer. It's not Racer because he's in the pits. That leaves it with Gary Lynn. So that's the number 7 car that is currently in last place.
The whole fucking show, Gary Lynn.
So Aaron Racer runs almost to the limit, pitting with about a minute and change left in his maximum allocation. So he went 98 plus minutes into this race. Very impressive.
Oh, wait, Rob Van Dam was the whole fucking show. Jerry Lynn was the new fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Jerry Lynn was older, and therefore...
Yeah, bit weird.
Jerry Lynn, the mature fucking show.
Bob Van Dam. No job, Bob.
Correct. Although he did do a fantastic job with Rhino.
He did.
That was very well done. Everybody hated Rhino.
Well, that was before No Job Bob Van Dam.
That is also correct.
That was more his Impact run, where it's like, does this guy ever lose?
But still in current and lifelong pick-a-hand Van Dam era.
Yes, sir.
Just pick a hand so we can go home.
I swear he's like the only person who got over in the whole WWE invasion.
Yeah.
On the Alliance side, anyways. Guess you could argue Booker T to a certain degree.
I mean, they did push him quite heavily.
Adam David Brush on the tail of, well, that is not for position, so that is not Wiseman ahead of him. By process of elimination, that's Mario Walter, who's down in 12th place. Adam David Brush, Max Simmons having a real solid run here. I was skeptical on this team, and they're proving me wrong with this run to 4th place right now. I don't think it's a legit 4th place in the sense that I think that the pit stops will eventually put them further down the grid. I think specifically William Murrah will probably end up ahead of them. But we'll see.
Will we?
Albert Arjona running in 8th place. He might be a guy who might move up as well. This Porsche team is really quick. Race leader Nils Sauer in the pits, by the way. Not sure if that'll be to hand the car back to Kevin Braun or just for a new set of tires and some fuel. Jeff Wentworth. Running here. Check out the ESR Racing 101 videos that I'm doing, and I'm hoping maybe a couple of the other admins will get involved with that as well. We're trying to put together a playlist of like basically everything you need to know to race with us, or at least as close to it as we can make it happen. And hopefully that'll help with some of the teething problems that we've experienced over time. The next video will be the custom liveries, like I talked about before, and I'll basically be talking about why Race Room makes it really, really hard to use custom liveries, as Adam David Brosh is under pressure from William Murrah for 4th place.
Under pressure.
Yeah, they do have the blue flagged car of Mario Walter ahead. I just saw a blue flag pop up, so he is under notice. Murrah goes down the inside hard into turn 1. Can Brosh do the cutback? No. Murrah's got it. Got it by a lot, actually. It looks like Brosh may have gone way too deep himself.
And be sure to tune into the Racing 102 series of videos we're going to do where I teach you how to cheat.
I mean, wouldn't that be the 909 series?
I don't know what that means.
It's for a law class, which involves actually breaking the law.
Neat. Can I just take that one? Do I have to go through other things first? Can I just take that one?
I believe you need to go through other things.
No. Can I just audit the class? Come on.
I mean, if you're willing to do it for free, I'm sure they might make that happen.
Interesting.
If I can borrow a line from The Wire, I don't know you. Well, we can make that happen, baby. Walter is I don't mean to be terribly harsh on the blue flags because I haven't seen anything terribly bad, but he did take a while to get out of Brosh's way there, and it has definitely opened up a gap to Murrah. I think that was a little bit unsporting. Nürburgring does not present a tremendously large number of overtaking opportunities to exploit, so I would have liked to see a little bit more
exploitation,
sportsmanship there, because he is lapped by the car ahead of him, so it's not like there's much going on for Mario Walter. But I'm not gonna be too hard on it. Just seemed like that took a little too long. Back at the front, Fabian Wohlers is, by the way, now in the lead, and Kevin Braun is back in the car. Watch out, it's Braun time. And he's putting the pressure on Piet Weissman, trying to get around him on the outside there. Interesting that I think they're going to end up having to go back to Sauer, but Braun does take 2nd place now. So it looks like they're trying to get Kevin Braun out here to try to get the lead back, and then they'll go back to Sauer at the end of the race, if I'm not mistaken on the driver times, because I doubt that Braun has 75 minutes to play on his meter. So
you think Kevin Braun just listens to the Braun Strowman's theme song endlessly while driving?
You think his favorite baseball player is Ryan Braun?
Probably not. Probably Marcus Stroman.
We might need to check his
Strowman.
certain elements of his piss for the PEDs.
Strowman and the Marcus of the universe.
Indeed.
How about all them baseball player pitchers that can't pitch no more because they can't use spotter tag?
Well, they're just not as good anymore.
They suck. Holy shit.
Still can pitch.
It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna bust you all for this stuff. Oh no! And everybody's career went off a cliff.
Well, I mean, if you've been doing it for like a decade, I mean, you gotta kind of almost relearn to throw.
Yep. One guy is trying to blame the league. You banned the stuff, and I used to use the stuff, and so I had to do things different. And now I'm injured for the season. Yeah, good.
I mean, admittedly, that was something that was. I said it when they originally said they were cracking down on that. I'm like, we're gonna get a lot of pitching injuries.
That's fine. Good. Fuck them. You're obviously substandard humans and substandard athletes. You shouldn't be in the league if you can't pitch.
Oh, we lost somebody. We're down to 12 cars. Who are we missing?
Uh,
So there were 5 Aston Martins at the start. There appear to only be 4 now.
I don't see that Michael Magus kid out there nowheres.
Well, we lost them a while ago. That was at 14 cars. Now
That's
we're
the
down to
joke.
12.
We should just keep
So
running
we
this forever until
Rollers,
there's only one
Braun, Adam David Brosh, Gary Lynn are out there. So what Aston Martin have we lost from the race? I am scrolling through the entry list here to find an answer. Oh, Aaron Racer and his teammate are gone.
Here he's gone. There goes Aaron Racer. Aaron Racer, no relation to Joe Racer?
Not to my knowledge. They're from different countries.
Maybe they're the same
probably
person.
Not. Probably not.
Maybe it's just Joe Racer that has another family with another bunch of people in another country.
Albert Arjona working his way through traffic there. That was Gary Lynn that he was lapping. So down to 12, having started with 14. Hopefully we get more guys if we do this again. I know people are voting in the poll to do this again, but it's like 15 people. And it's not really enough.
That means there's only going to be
it
30 teams.
That would make 7 teams.
No, we're gonna put like 5 people on each team.
Whoa!
Oh,
Tom
boy.
Ferber coming down hard on the inside and ends up with contact. Aaron Racer returns. Ferber getting contact there with the Audi of Mario Walter. I can't blame Walter for that at all. Ferber going hard for the dive, and Jeff Wentworth picks up 6th place as a result.
Wentworth! On the also video game front, have you been paying attention to the testing of the Crew Skill 2.0 for World of Tanks?
A little bit.
There's apparently the camo skills and all of the extras and supplementary bonuses you can get is just obscene. Like totally invisible tanks, and Des has been testing accuracy with the Super Conqueror and the STRV 103, and he can't miss. Like it's you have to try to miss.
That's not ideal.
I mean, I'm kind of in favor of more accuracy, but how much more accuracy?
I mean, I'm really not, because like accuracy was my thing. Like that was my superpower.
You're not wrong.
That 79% career hit rate.
Yeah. There was one test, I can't remember if it was Skill that did it or Dez, but one of them drove, was it on Cliff, and they went up the donut. This won't mean anything to anybody who doesn't play World of Tanks, but they went on the low ground and they went up into the donut, and they spotted 3 tanks, and nobody spotted them. They just drove up the trail, no problem. It was pretty broken, and it wasn't even the ELC even 90. It was just I think it was the Manticore.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they're just kind of like, alright. I'll just drive up the hill, I guess.
Tom Ferber is after his mistake that with Mario Walter lost him a spot to Wentworth. He's now under pressure from Albert Arjona. See if Arjona in the Porsche can get the job done here. We're approaching the last hour of this race.
Pressure pressing down on me, pressing down on you.
Down the inside to turn 1, there's been the popular overtaking zone.
Oh, I thought he was going to do it.
And Arjona might have it done, but the inside line is to Ferber. Nope, Ferber is going to hold it.
Nürburgring.
Tom Ferber holding on. But this is not over. Arjona's got the scent. It's like a bloodhound. And indeed goes wide. Opens up into the Ford curve for a possible around the outside maneuver here from Arjona. I think really Dunlop is probably his best bet, which is the hairpin coming up. There we go. Arjona on the inside. Coming in. He's going to try and outbreak him. And assuming he holds the exit, he's got the job done. He does. That is 7th place for Albert Arjona, liberating that from Tom Ferber. Now they're up on Mario Walter, who has been featuring prominently in some of these battles in the Blue Flags. And does yield the spot to Arjona under Blues. Making it reasonably easy for Ferber to get through as well.
Audrey Faber?
Probably a little bit afraid of Ferber, to be honest, after Ferber almost dive-bombed him earlier.
You must instill the
Arjona
fear.
already breaking clear.
You must bully them into the wall.
Fear can be a useful thing. I mean, I've talked about reputation as a powerful thing in a grid. And part of that is fear.
And also in a circle.
If we're being honest. That being said, if you inspire fear, you also tend to inspire stewarding reports.
I like to inspire so much fear that no one reports it.
Oh. I think at that point you're beyond fear. At that point it's dread.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Which is fitting because our head steward, of course, has the Judge Dredd avatar. Defense noted. I want to go watch Dredd. Carl Urban, go do your thing.
Don't lie to the people. You only watch the Stallone version.
No. Oh, God, no. Sweet Jesus, no.
Don't lie to the people.
Mika White getting a little out of shape there as he battles with Jeff Hancock for 9th place. So actually, you know what? For all the thoughts that this grid would separate, and to a degree it has, there are still a lot of good battles going on here. We've got this one here for 9th place between Mika Watt and Hancocks. We have Arjona and Ferber. We're just having their little fight, and we'll see if Arjona can do anything about Jeff Wentworth up ahead of him. And we got a good little battle for 3rd place going on between Wiseman and Murrah. So, there's good fights going on throughout the field. Fabian Wohlers still leads, which is a little bit surprising. Kind of thought Kevin Braun would bring that number 19 car back to the front. It has not happened yet.
On further wrestling rumors, there's another rumor that CM Punk's coming back to wrestling.
I'd have to interrupt here because I got to make fun of Mika Watt here.
Oh, please continue.
His blinker has been on, like that car's blinker has been on this whole time.
I would do the same thing.
He's had his right turn signal. I thought it was Matt Higgs flashing the headlights. Now I'm starting to reevaluate that. I think Higgs may have just turned on the right hand indicator, and Mika maybe doesn't have a button, Matt, to turn it off.
That would be incredibly hilarious. And I support that manner of shenanigans.
We'll see when it's on there again, but do continue with your wrestling news.
It's not news. It's just, again, people are going, oh, CM Punk's coming back to wrestling, and he's going to sign with AEW. Probably not. But now that Bryan Danielson, I fucking hate Daniel Bryan, shut up. Bryan Danielson, the American fucking Dragon, apparently a free agent, even though I suspect they're going to re-kayfabe he's always been signed to the WWE, and he's not leaving.
I don't think so this time, just because I think that the news that AEW has been getting out of Daniel Bryan / Bryan Danielson / American Dragon being air quotes a free agent has gotten AEW. I think Vince would have gotten cold feet by now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Vince is just too dumb.
But you could be right. At this point, nothing the WWE does actually surprises me. So
these are true statements.
When you finally realize that there just is no logic to that company, you realize anything is in fact possible.
Although I will state for the record, if we don't, in the wrestling world, don't hear anything about Danielson signing with AEW by August 20th, he's definitely going to New Japan.
Okay.
Because he will be in the G1.
Oh, Gary Lynn going for his move against Mario Walter.
Mario Andretti.
This is that got very squeezy towards the edge, but the Aston Martin with a much better drag down to turn 1, and Gary Lynn has got the job done, at least for now. Gary Lynn, I've got to think, is on the verge of violating his maximum driver length, because Kerry Arnault was not in that car for very long at all.
I thought Arnault started the race.
No, Lynn started the race.
Oh,
Arnault was swapped
qualified.
to Arnault, and then back to Lynn.
Arnault.
I speculated that Arnault might have had a technical problem because he had such a short stint in the car. I would be wondering if Lynn doesn't have to pit in the very near future to get Arnault back in that car.
I would say that if he doesn't pit immediately, he's probably a Soviet spy.
Well, his battle with Mario Walter continues. Tom Ferber in the pits. Aaron Racer is back, but I suspect there's a problem there that may not be remediable. Ferber back out on track. Is that Ferber, or is that going to be his teammate Sean Shades, who we have not seen in a while?
Sean Kenny?
Well, Sean Leyland apparently is his name.
Leyland got me on my knees. Right?
Well, Eric Clapton's has made a stupid statement now that
really?
Now that you've done that. Yeah. He is not going to play any venues that have required vaccination.
Ooh, that's not a good look.
It's not a great look. I think someone put it best as like, you survived the decade of drugs and everything known to mankind, and you're afraid of a needle.
Yeah, it's not a good look, homie. I would like to state for the record, I also won't be playing any venues that for the same reason. Well, not for the same reasons, but I mean, I don't play venues.
Yeah, our venue is YouTube, frankly.
I stand with Eric Clapton because I won't play venues either.
So Piet Wiseman under pressure from William Murrah. So Murrah is in the car, theoretically till the end, if he can do it. He did pit early, I think, to give way to Burke in his first stint. So I think Burke had a long stint there. We'll see.
Burke.
Down the inside, Wiseman made a mistake there through the NGK chicane and was pitting anyways. So actually, a bit anticlimactic. Murrah up to third place as a result. Wiseman into the pits to possibly give the car back to his teammate. His teammate is Stefano Schiavone, who made great strides early in the race, showed excellent attacking craft and ability.
What about hovercraft?
So we'll see if Wiseman gives the car back to him. Although Wiseman seems to have been the faster of the two, but Schiavone appeared to have been the more attacking option. Apparently, also is the primary on the team because their team name is Scuderia Schiavone. So,
we really need to expand these team sizes so we can have Wiseman, who brings the Murrah, and Goldstein, and Frankenstein.
Do some recruiting. The 9 Hour will have 4-man teams. So
I don't know about coming. Oh my goodness! What in the name of the fuck?
That was a sloppy pit stop.
Now you gotta make another pit stop because he caved in the front quarter panel.
Actually, I do feel like running down the ESR teams that are going to run the 9 Hour of Nürburgring. This seems like a good time.
We're doing commentary on that one?
No.
What?
That one is RWB's got a team for that one. We could ask if you want to make a guest
I
appearance.
mean, I'd be down for a guest appearance. I don't know about how long though.
I'll check him out. I'll talk with our boy RWB Charger.
How you gonna do that? He's always in bed by 2 in the afternoon.
So, in terms of the ESR contingent, it's not really an ESR contingent, but we do have the Gary Lynn, Kerry Arnaud team with Matt Kukazuo and Arjun Narshiman. Probably
Cusco?
butchered that.
The poison, Cusco's poison? The poison for Cusco?
They are running one car. Kerry Arnaud has been with us, so I'm going to count that as an ESR team. It's not really, though. We have the Overclock Racing Quartet of Chris Stevenson, James Butler, Adam David Brosh, and Max Simmons. That's a very interesting team. Further down the line, we will also be fielding the team of... I'm looking.
Are you?
I'm looking. I'm still looking. Oh, here we go. The Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo car of William Murrah, Andrew Burke, and Dominic Turcotte.
No Javier?
No, well, Javier's on a different team. I get to.
But it's Ferrari.
It's Ferrari. After this experience, we'll have to ask him if he likes the Ferrari more than he likes the Nissan.
No, would you rather race Ferrari or the Zonda?
We have a McLaren 720S team of David Nelson, Jeff Hancox, and Logan Sword. Good to see Logan out there.
Logan. I have an Olympic story for you.
All right.
They did the which event was this? Tell me what fucking thing is cycling. It was the women's cycling road race. So basically, Austria sent this lady to the Olympics. She's got a PhD in mathematics, and as a side hustle, she loves to race bicyclettes.
Okay.
And she loves time trials, so she just will fucking demolish a time trial, and you can all eat shit and die. Apparently, she's won the Austrian time trials many times in the last years, and but the Dutch were favored to win basically all the medals because they're all professional cyclists. They're all sponsored. They're all top notch, top of their field type scenario. So after the pace car pulls away after the first 10 kilometers of this race, this lady, whose name is Anna Kaisenhofer, she basically just pushes it and just pushing it to the limit right away as soon as that pace car's out of the way. And about 10 people go with her, and eventually 5 of those 10 people fall away. And then eventually 5 of the people that are 4, the 5 other people that are with her fall away.
Hang on a sec. Mika what? Having a very off-road experience.
Sir, this is not the bus. Not the bus, sir.
It's not Rallycross.
Yeah, not the bus and not Wreckfest.
Whoa, Fabian Wohlers just appears on the inside. So it looks like Wohlers might be still having some connection issues.
The Walrus.
As he goes through on there to lap Mika What after what's interesting moment.
So yeah, eventually most of these people fall back, but your girl Anna still out front. Crosses the line a minute 15 ahead of the pack. Wow. To the point where one of the Dutch racers who came in second thought she won.
You were so far ahead that I thought I was ahead.
This lady demolished professional racers. She's apparently on the international scene virtually unheard of.
Jeff Wentworth is putting pressure on Adam David Brosh, who gives way. And that'll be 5th place for the Big Nissan. Completing the ESR lineup for the 9 hour, the team of Michael Magus, Javier Perez Torres, Rochelle Guerin, and Jeff Wentworth, as well as the team of Albert Arjona, Matt Higgs, Josh McLaughlin, and Xavi Castaño Muniz.
I like the fact that you got Wentworth on your team so he can't torpedo you. It's a good move.
I mean, that was part of the plan.
Although he could torpedo the whole team.
Does remind me that I need to upload our livery for the upcoming race. Do that after we're done here. Final lineup, by the way. Well, not final, because there's an open spot still. So if you want to get in on the 9 hour, you still can. We'll 6 Aston Martins, 6 Audis, 1 BMW M6, 5 Bentleys, 5 Ferraris, 1 Honda, 1 Lamborghini, 4 Lexuses, 7 McLarens, most popular car in the field. Mercedes is 4, 2 Nissans, and 7 Porsches. The other Nissan that is joining my crew is the Apex Czech Motorsports team of Peter Peck and Michael Topinka.
I also provide Apex chicken. Oh wait, did you say Apex Chechen?
Apex Czech.
That's not even a real thing. Everybody knows there's no such country.
I wouldn't let Adam Dave Brosh hear you say that. He might take offense to that.
Why? Because he's a Yugoslav?
He's a Czech.
It's not a real place. We've already established this.
Place. It is a real
It's
place.
just a misspelling of Chechnya.
Accept it. Move on with life.
Nah, it's fine. It's not like they're violent or anything.
They are one of the more peaceful revolutions you'll ever see.
They just listen to T-Rex endlessly.
History Matters did a video on it where it was basically like, to my knowledge, this is the only revolution of just complete apathy.
Even more apathetic than the Italians.
Apparently.
Hey, Spacino. We're fascists today. Okay, whatever. We're fascists. Yeah. Oh, we're not fascist. Yeah, no fascism anymore. No problem.
Well, I mean, at least Mussolini had to lead like marches.
Oh yeah, I guess there was that. Gotta get out of the house and shit. Fuck that.
This is how you know Byron will never turn his charisma to a political revolution. He'd have to.
Oh no, I'll totally do that. But you got to come pick me up. You know, I'll stand up there and talk if you want. But I mean, God, I'm not going there on my own.
Pit stops for Piet Weissman and Mario Walter.
I will definitely be the puppet dictator. Don't get me wrong.
I am down for the pay. Fabian Walter's still leading, actually pulling away from Kevin Braun. So it looks like Braun's second stint in the car has not nearly been as efficient as his first stint. He was absolutely leaving everyone for dead earlier, but has just been kind of, second place still. I'm not saying anything bad, but that car, that 19 car, looked like it was going to be running away with it, and hasn't really made it happen since.
I just have T-Rex, Children of the Revolution in my head now. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. No, you
Mika
won't.
Up to 7th place.
The Children of the Revolution.
Sean Shades in 8th.
No, you won't. I'm going to sing over every time.
Stop go penalty for Stefano Schiavone / Mario Walter. Speeding in the pit lane.
Surely make you lose your mind.
Hurt them big. I will say Schiavone's gave that car to Mario Walter in a really good position, solidly in the top 10, and it has been returned to him not in the same condition. We'll see what he can do.
So I found that I can recline in the recliner and just pull my mouse further back and put it on the armrest of the recliner and kind of use it. But it's very much softer than the actual mouse pad on my desk, so I have to really be careful how hard I'm clicking or how many times I'm clicking.
William Murrah putting a lap on Mika. What there? Mika jumping out of the way. That would be kind of a little bit of what the fear I was talking about there earlier. Murrah has a certain aggressive reputation.
which I'm gonna get PM from him saying that he disagrees, but I'm sorry, the field feels very different.
You go to jail.
No.
Right to
He's
jail.
actually avoided penalty. He's avoided penalties lately. Actually, he's been doing good work. Came in second in the 3D Speed Series recently, finishing second to Matt Higgs. So good work there. And we wish him luck in the 9-hour because he has a potentially very, very, very good team in the Ferrari 488 because he is bringing to tails Dominic Turcotte, who's an excellently fast driver himself. And also, of course, who was the other guy in there? Andrew Burke. That's one of our more solid lineups, actually.
And we will be racing on Reverse Macau, as always.
No, it's Nürburgring.
God damn it. Get some imagination. At least put, let's go deep on Brandon's hatchway. Or perhaps...
well, to be clear, we specifically set this event up to practice for the 9
I
hours
suppose, if you must.
So that is why the tracks are the same.
What if we did the Krakow
Oh, pardon
to
me,
Macau rally?
it's not Schiavone that has the drive-through penalty. It is Spildermake who has the drive-through or the stock go penalty. My apologies. I was completely mistaken on that one.
I'm still pushing for my Krakow to Macau rally. Somebody make it happen.
That would be pretty hardcore. Pretty damn hardcore.
AKA the Orient Excess. You see what I
Crossing
did
two
there?
continents with this one.
Somebody get me a video game developer, and we'll make this happen.
I mean, that sounds like a golden option. I mean, the name sells itself. It'd be fantastic. You could do all kinds of things with that.
Correct. You could even do it in real time.
Ultimate test of driver and machine.
You bet you believe it. We'll intentionally make you go through Romania for no reason, just to do that really fucked up downhill thing that they had on Top Gear. I'm pretty sure it was Romania.
I think you're right, but I'm not 100%.
I just remember they were doing the episode, and right near the end, it was like 3/4 of the way through this episode, they got to the top of this mountain pass and looked down on this thing, and it was like, why did they build this? What the fuck? Whatever, let's do it.
I mean, Top Gear has taught me one thing, and that is a lot of things that you would think would never be built got built.
Yeah. Through the power of communism, we have the work orders.
We have the papers. We will build
If
it.
you have your papers, you must comply now. When is this 9-hour shenanigan bullshit race?
In 2 weeks.
Oh my god. Y'all better be getting your sleep in now. Because, joke's on you, it's a decimal place error. It's 90 hours.
Oh boy. I mean, people do 24-hour sim races, so it would not be the most ridiculous thing of it. Adam David Brosh running in 5th place. Still, he's done a fantastic job. I need to sound out the praises of Adam David Brosh here. He's done a great job. Max Simmons got them to the front, but Adam David Brosh has delivered and kept that car more or less in the top 5 most of the day, briefly falling out of it when he lost that spot to Jeff Wentworth. But he's back there now with Wentworth in the pit lane again. Not sure if that's going to be a handover to Josh McLaughlin or Wentworth just getting a fresh set of tires and maybe some fuel, but we'll see. I think anyone that's running in the top 10 right now, or the top 5, needs a general round of kudos. And this is going to be probably 4th place for Adam David Brosh as Albert Arjona is into the pit lane to get service. I don't think this will be a driver change because I want to say Castano Muniz did a double stint to start the race. and I think it's Arjona to the end. This is just probably a fresh set of tires and maybe and a top up of fuel, but we'll see. Also in the pit lane is shoulder make, but that'll be to serve a stop-go penalty that was occurred on their last pit stop. I wish we got the pit lane animations. You do if you're in the car, but you don't see it if you're outside the car.
No, that's a little weird. Just suddenly teleport back halfway under the track.
If you're in the car, you see the guys running around and putting the tires on the car and everything, so it's pretty fun. But not seeing it now, unfortunately.
That sounds lame as shit. Get your shit together, or automobile Lisa crumple zone around me.
Arjona rejoins the race. It says in 5th place. We'll see if that's accurate. Actually, probably is, because McLaughlin is listed in 6th place, and he just got in the car. Matt Higgs' drive-through penalty.
What a hooker.
That may have been incurred by Mika Watt. They just did a driver swap. But Higgs will be headed down the pit lane once more. Arjona coming out ahead of that, I think, is Fabian Wooler's the lead car. There we go, letting him through. And yes, that is Kevin Braun right on his tail. So Braun has caught Wooler's. And we got a showdown to the final here with a little over 40 minutes to play.
I also caught Wooler's once, but the doctor gave me an ointment.
It's important to get an ointment for that kind of thing.
Modreed. Begging of
Yes.
you, talk about these mans.
Kevin Braun takes the lead. Woolers just gave it up.
What a whore.
What the? I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Perhaps he is Wooler's gathering.
Like, it felt like Woolers definitely needed to make a state there. 3rd place is in the pits. They're well ahead of Adam David Brosh. Andrew Burke taking the Ferrari out. This will probably be to finish up the race here with Burke at the wheel.
Your boy, Kevin Braun, looks a little Darth Vader-ish with that helmet on. So, I mean, it may be a little intimidation factor.
Maybe.
Your boy looked in the rearview mirror, had a little bit of a brown trousers moment, and just kind of swerved.
Maybe. But Kevin Braun in the number 19 Aston Martin is to the front once again. He'll have to hand this car over to Nils Sauer at some point to finish the race off. But he has done his job. Definitely has been the driver of the day. And that's not rigged like it is in F1.
I want my new office chair to be here right now.
I know. I feel your.
God
I feel
damn
your
it.
pain.
I've already looked up the instructions on how to put it together.
I definitively feel your pain, my friend.
Pro tip for people who have not built furniture before, or assembled furniture before. Not built, sorry, wrong term. Make sure you're putting the seat the right way around. Make sure you put the front to the front. Be very sure. Very sure. I mean very sure. Or you're going to take everything apart. Hopefully there's a little label. If not, you have to infer geometry. Which I am good at. Because I've had a bunch of practice. I used to work at a place not unlike IKEA. Lower scale, much lower scale. But I used to work at a place that was kind of like that. And guess who was good at building things and took pride in his achievements? Stupid human. I should just slap this together in like 5 minutes and walked away. But either way, I got good at building, so good at building the floor models that people would specifically come in to buy the floor models, and then I'd have to build another floor model because my manager was so fucking dumb. My manager was so incredibly goddamn stupid that she would just sell the floor. Oh, it's money. It's easy, quick money. Not taking into account that I would take more hours out of her day or out of my day to build this thing. So she'd have to keep paying me to keep building the same thing over and over and over, and she was losing money that way.
Yeah, because there's no floor model out there to attract even the
Exactly.
sales.
No sales were happening until I built another one. And then she'd have to pay me to build another one. So she kept losing money and she would give them discounts.
Well, yeah, because the floor model
model
usually does come with a discount. Yeah.
No matter that I'd built it 2 days beforehand.
Yep.
She was the worst. She and the company were so bad that the company fired her. The person that was running the store, managing the store beforehand, made their budget projections, I'd say 3/4 of the time, or 2/3 of the time, somewhere in there. So she was doing an adequate job, so they replaced her with this other useless person. That person then made 0 budget projections for the rest of the time I worked there. And after my back exploded, like a year later, they fired her because she was trash. And then they rehired her a year or so, maybe 3 or 4 years down the line, and then fired her before the year was out on that one. So the company was so dumb they didn't know what they were doing, and she was so bad that she didn't know what they were doing, and somehow the store's still open. I don't understand.
I don't understand. We're having a good battle for 7th place in the meantime. Sean Shades leading the way at the moment with Dave Nelson and Stefano Schiavone on his tail. That should be an impressive run to the finish. Less than 40 minutes to go. Less than a 3D speed race to go.
Speaking of the finish, what is the greatest finisher in wrestling history?
Are we going with like a believable or just the one that I like to look at?
You can pick one of each.
Okay. Well, on the believable side of things, I am going to go with... This is a tough one.
Yeah.
There are a couple options. Like, there's a short list forming in my head, but it's not coming down to one necessarily. In terms of like just looking at, but I don't really believe is terribly viable, is the One-Winged Angel from Kenny Omega.
That is a very acceptable answer.
And,
because that match is over. One-Winged Angel comes out. That match is over.
Yeah. No, and I believe it's over. It's just it's a very
it's showy,
convoluted move. Yeah,
it's convoluted and it's showy, and we know it's a wrestling move. But when that One-Winged Angel hits, that match is done.
Mm-hmm.
You have to hope that somehow or other, part of the storyline for the match is that Kenny Omega doesn't have the strength to cover you.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the only time we get it.
But for realistic, absolutely one-hitter quitter, eat shit and die.
I mean, the most realistic is Back Fist of the Future.
You're not wrong. That's definitely on my short list.
Eddie Kingston. That's the one I'm going to go with for most believable. I mean, because I've seen it in MMA, like be finished.
Absolutely. I'm going to go with my favorite in the world to see is the Doomsday Device, because I could totally believe, like the way Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors did it.
Oh yeah,
that guy's eating all the shit in the world and completely dying. 100% of the time. Anybody else who does it doesn't do it as good as that, and it just won't be as good as the way they did.
Dudley's do it pretty well.
It's acceptable, but it's not the way that those two jacked up muscleheads did it.
No, it is not.
For realistic,
Dave Nelson under pressure from Schiavone here. Schiavone going to the inside of turn 1, the favorite overtaking zone on this track. I think Nelson hangs on for the time being and will... No, he doesn't. Ooh. Schiavone got a great drive out of that corner and made it happen. That is 8th place for Stefano Schiavone and the Scuderia Schiavone Audi team. Dave Nelson relegated to 9th place. Please continue.
I got kind of a tie for my most realistic finishers. And it's kind of like 1A, 1B. Either the Jawbreaker Lariat from Nigel McGuinness.
Nigel McGuinness. Yeah.
Because you're just getting full force straight to the jaw.
Oh, yeah.
Or the Burning Hammer.
True.
Because if that is even slightly miscalculated, you're not just...
You die.
Yeah. You're not just going to the hospital. You hope you're going to the hospital. And you hope you're going to get wheeled out later. Realistically, you might go to the hospital and then they wheel your ass into the morgue.
Mm-hmm. It is a wrestling move I would never take.
No, not unless I knew exactly who it was, and I was very sure that they were in top physical condition. You don't have any, like, weird injuries or anything right now? No, okay, all right, I've known you for 30 years, probably that's okay.
Let's see if Dave Nelson can make a comeback here against Schiavone for 8th place. And of course, we'll see if they can catch up to Sean Shades. I did the Spades thing again. And
Sam Spade?
They're also coming up, to the lapped car of Kerry Arnault, the number 7 Aston Martin. So that'll also be interesting. Dave Nelson tucks up, looking to get it back in turn 1. I don't think so.
Oh no!
Oh, Schiavone loses it.
That's all right. Everything's equal. Everything's equal right now.
And can Nelson get it? He's having to go the long way around. Schiavone hangs on. That's a little lucky. Had Nelson adjusted or been a little bit further back there when Schiavone lost control of the car, that would have been a spot. But because they were so close and Nelson wasn't able to, Schiavone retains, at least for now, 8th place.
Sean, if you're out there listening, could you do us a favor and just change your racing name to Sam Spade so that Mio stops fucking things up?
Sean Shades. The shades of racing. Yeah!
The shades of shift stick. Oh, wait, you guys don't shift in this race, do you? It's all automatic transmission and air conditioning and...
Although it is normally paddle shift as opposed to shift stick.
You got your automatic transmissions, you got your ball cooler. What happened to the ball cooler fucking vent in vehicles?
I don't know.
What the fuck's wrong with goddamn designers?
It's a great design. I don't know.
I distinctly remember under the steering column of like 3 of my dad's vehicles, there was the ball chiller.
Oh, somebody is sideways on the track. Appears like it was not for position. So that was either someone who had lapped Shades or was being lapped by Shades. Don't know the answer. Anyway, Sean Shades is very happy that he's got a little bit of breathing room because of the Nelson Schiavone festivities. My favorite Shades of Justice cartoon is still the World of Warcraft one.
Well, I don't remember that one specifically.
It's the corner's like the victim died after playing World of Warcraft for 48 hours straight, and then it's just ... Wow!
I enjoy the it looks like I don't know, whatever the killer masturbated, left semen in her ear.
Oh yeah.
So you're saying she heard her killer coming? Yeah. Good old Shades of Justice.
Indeed.
Not as good as Nassau Shark, but pretty close.
No, nothing is.
One day I will release Nassau Shark unto the masses. And your days will be numbered, sir.
I probably will die.
You'll never be able to function or exist ever again.
I'll just not. I will not be able to look at anything ever again.
Never be able to turn another computer on. Never answer the phone. Everybody will change their icons to NASA Shark.
The most illogical thing we've ever come across is the effect that NASA Shark has on me is Dave Nelson.
It's unreasonably hilariously funny.
So Nelson will be handing the car over to teammate Jeff Hancock to finish the race off. Adam David Brosh leading Albert Arjona. Kind of letting him through there. I think, to be honest, actually, I'm going to pull back the curtain here and talk about the chat for a second here. Adam David Brosh literally was actually getting a little bit of shit from Albert Arjona for letting him through, because Arjona wanted to fight him. So I think Adam David Brosh not defending his position actually might have been annoying people just a little bit, because I don't think Arjona has anything else on offer right now. He's at least a section behind Andrew Burke. So it's not like third place is on offer. Like, the battle for fourth place was kind of like what Arjona was looking forward to, and Brosh kind of took it away from him by just moving out of the way. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Sean Shades absolutely parking the car there to block off Stefano Schiavone. And we have a stop-go penalty for Dave Nelson, which will be for speeding in the pit lane, I would imagine. Bit of naughty defense there by Sean Shades, but get the job done. I will say his car looks a lot cleaner than the other ones, because it's mostly black, and as a result, the pickup from the tires isn't showing up quite as much. David Brosh coming up to lap. Oh, it is Dave Nelson still in the car. I thought Jeff Hancock's would have to take over the car, but apparently not. It's like Nelson is still, I assume, going to the end. I assume anyone who pits now is on their final pit stop, because we have less than 30 minutes to go here. Unless they've horribly miscalculated their drive. No, it is Hancock's. Okay. We were just waiting for him to hit a timing gate, so it was a driver swap. Okay.
Mr. Handycocks.
So Sean Shade still hanging on against Schiavone.
Schiavone.
Shimon. I'm honestly not all that familiar with Tony Schiavone, actually.
He's terrible.
I know that much. Understand that.
Tony Schiavone is the worst fucking holy shit. Him and Don West.
You know what? I swear I could probably name
Don West is the worst. But Schiavone is right up there, because he just dives down into the fucking retarded mud right with Don West. He doesn't lift anybody up. He is terrible. Fuck Schiavone and Mark Madden.
Oh,
Mark Madden can burn.
Mark Madden I find just as like as a human being.
Oh, he's despicable. He's Mark Madden can literally go choke on donkey feces, and I mean that.
He was number 1 on Jim Ross's hate list.
I don't see why not.
I was a little surprised, because I mean everyone assumed it was going to be Vince Russo.
Well, no, I mean you just ignore Vince Russo, aka Vic Venom. Can I change my name to Vic Venom legally?
I did like when Jim Cornette actually thanked Vince Russo on his podcast. He's like, "Thank you, Vince Russo. You've inspired me to stay healthy so that I may outlive you and piss on your gravestone." As Schiavone makes the overtake there to turn 1 on Sean Shades, getting the job done for 7th place.
Schiavone.
But yeah, Mark Madden was number 1.
Yeah, he's a fucking trash human being and trash at commentary, trash at everything. I heard he fucking kicked a puppy and probably saluted Hitler while pissing in his own mouth.
Dispeta in second place behind Nils Sauer. By the way, Braun pitted at some point. We did miss it. They swapped over to Nils Sauer, and similarly, that has happened with Fabian Wohlers and Dispater. So
His car looks
we
suspicious.
have a bit of an interesting thing going on here because, of course, Pater seemed to have the better of Sauer, while Braun had the better of Wohlers. So with 4.7 seconds, 23 minutes to go, can Dispater close that gap and bring home the win to the number 93 Aston Martin team? It's looking increasingly like an Aston Martin is going to win either way, but it will be the 19 or the 93.
Dispater's car looks like suspicious Philip J. Fry. Next time you get a front shot, check it out.
I will. I don't think I had noticed it before, but
It looks like squinting Philip J. Fry.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. We'll see it.
Oh, he got his car from the Alibaba, or is it AliExpress or whatever?
It is the Alibaba Group that appears to be a sponsor on the Garage 59 Aston Martin.
There's a lady that works at the college I work for, and her last name sounds a lot like Alibaba. It's not, but it sounds a lot like it. And, you know, I'm on the phone with her talking, whatever, making a service ticket because they got a problem. And I do the whatever it is and the 40 Thieves joke. And she's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't like, I was dead sure I wasn't the first person to make that joke, but if it's like that, I'm very sorry. He's like, oh, it's kind of okay. I mean, it's my husband's name. He's had to live with it his whole life. I'm like, ooh, oh no. Like if that's where your mentality is with the joke, and then he's had to do it his whole life, I can only imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not done that joke.
It's kind of like people you turning one letter of my name into something else and using
I
it as
do
a
that all the
slur.
time. Oh, slur? No, I don't do that.
Jeez. So much.
I do.
It was all the
time.
the painful thing was that people would always like be like, "Oh, I'm the first one to come."
Oh,
no,
yeah,
you're
absolutely.
not. No, you are absolutely not. Adam David Brosh in the pit lane, as well as Jeff Hancock's. Hancock's, I believe, is just serving the stop-go penalty. Credit to the 100 car, by the way. They're out there running 70 laps down.
Damn.
So they had some technical issues. That's Aaron Racer, and I don't know your first name, I'm afraid, but Reinhardt. So good on you guys for keeping it up there. Me and Javier tried, but the game actually just would not let us rejoin as the same car. It was very annoying.
Should have gone out there with a Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, there are some. Let's put it this way: the health of your internet connection is very key in enduro racing, unfortunately, because if it DCs, you're leaving yourself open to all kinds of potential problems. So we'll see where Adam David Brosh in the 420 car comes out in relation to Josh McLaughlin's Nissan, as they were fighting over 5th place back when it was Jeff Wentworth in the car, and then McLaughlin took over at the pit stop. We'll see where Brosh is in relation. And if it's still Brosh in the car, Max Simmons might be back in the car because he does have some driving time left.
You think that Josh McLaughlin listens to Sarah McLaughlin while racing? Is it just Arms of the Angels on repeat? Maybe. Arms of the Angels.
Nils Sauer, by the way, is being caught by Dispater. The gap is down to 3.3 seconds. So Dispater is making a late charge here to get that 93 to the top of the podium. Sauer still hanging on, though. Catching is one thing, overtaking is another. Andrew Burke currently owns the final spot on the podium for the 961 Ferrari. It is Albert Arjona, who we're looking at right now. Josh McLaughlin in the 23 Nissan. Then it is Schiavone in the 999, followed by the 722 of Sean Shades. And it is indeed Max Simmons back out there in the 420. So we'll
Simmons.
see if he can climb back up the order. Kerry Arnaud, 9th. Jeff Hancock's 10th. Mika Watt and Schildermake, pardon me, in 12th. And then it is Reichhardt, who is in 13th.
Herr Reichhardt. Are you the third person in your family to have that name?
Looks like the Hunter car may actually have stopped to may have pulled the plug there in the pit lane.
Quitters.
Sean Shades is in the pits. Didn't really expect a pit stop from him, but we'll see where he filters back.
He will be swapping drivers over to Sean regular glasses.
Well, it would be I can't remember what his first name was. The last name was Ferber.
It would be
it's Matt or Mark, I forget which.
Is the other commentary team still overusing the Julio joke?
They've relaxed on it a little
That's
bit.
good. It's only taken them 2 years.
But they definitely killed it. They Chris Partload when Partlow had to take out Michael Lee's dad on the wire. That's the level it was at. And for those who are unfamiliar with that scene, it was the most overkill you will see in The Wire. Like, if you're familiar with who Snoop is in The Wire, who's a sociopath, even she's like, "Damn, man, we didn't even get him in the vacant."
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's in the late seasons when the kids come in, so I don't think you have.
Wow, thanks for the spoilers.
Hey, at this point, if you've not seen the kids season,
we would have seen it, but you just ditched out on us for the whole Wire thing.
Yeah, you want to watch Wire? I'm always down to watch.
That's not even close to being true. I set it all up. We were going to watch it, and then you just like, oh, I'm busy watching the Buns of Manarchy where Leather Daddy does speeches in prison.
I feel like I wasn't even watching the Sons of Anarchy.
No, probably
actually,
not.
when you were.
I think you were watching House again.
I have actually not finished House. I got one
time.
episode left. There is an episode of House that I had never seen. Actually, there's like a secret finale episode, which was a bit weird. It's called the Final Call.
The Final Call.
Because I had assumed that the end of the House series was when him and Wilson drive off on the motorcycles to have adventures and whatever. Apparently, there's an episode after that.
Dang. Do they pull into a truck stop and diagnose somebody with ringworm?
Well, I haven't seen it yet. I saw the very beginning of it because I assumed I was at the last episode, so I didn't think to hit stop. And it started playing another episode, and I'm like, oh wait, maybe this is like a short that they published at some point. I'm like, no, it's a full length episode.
Damn.
Interesting. So I'm going to watch that at some point, and that will finish off my House.
I have no idea how much of House I've seen. I've seen a bunch, but I don't know if it's like, have I seen half of it? Two-thirds?
This is the first time I've tried to watch the whole thing, and I think it came down to I'd seen about 2/3.
Yeah, fair enough. I want to assume that I'm in that same boat.
There were a couple. I'd seen chunks of every season, so I knew things coming. But there were a couple episodes I hadn't seen. Or at least if I saw them, they didn't make enough of an impression for me to, remember them.
I would like to go back and watch, get back into NCIS, but then Donoso's gone, so I'm not really that into it.
Pretty much everyone is
gone.
Is it?
Oh, no.
In NCIS. I think really McGee's the only one.
Oh, really?
Left.
What about Gibbs?
Gibbs is
Wow.
gone.
Did he get killed?
No. I think they're leaving the door for him to come back, but I think Mark Harmon wants a break.
That is more than fair. That man has carried that whole franchise on his back.
Yes.
Apparently, he had an issue with the producer or somebody like early on in the series, and he just fucking chased him off. And so it's like it's now Mark Harmon's show.
Yep. None of the original cast is still there.
Damn.
The longest standing character is McGee.
Damn. What if they get the band back together?
Well, that'd be cool. I was enjoying the show Bull with Michael Weatherly, aka DeNozo,
Yep.
and it was really just Tony DeNozo turned up to about like 100.
I remember I got the finale of the season before he left the show, and then I read that he was leaving the show at the end of the next season. It was like, I don't think I want to watch it. And that's the last one I watched.
I've watched a
season right
little
before he
bit of
left.
it. I watched a little bit of it post DeNozo, not like overly intentionally, just like kind of like, oh, NCIS is on. I guess we'll watch that. It's not bad without him, but there is a hole. Josh McLaughlin in 5th place. This team has come really good here. The Wentworth McLaughlin car. The 23 car fell to the back early and has managed to come back through the field all the way up to 5th place. I think they're still on the lead lap, but I'm not 100% certain. They're doing this all with, again, a car that is not one of the better cars in the field. It's not a go-to car, but they're delivering and they're doing great things. And this bodes well. Jeff, you're going to be riding a lot in the 9 hour, my friend. That's all there's to it.
Oh, you know what? I just found something out.
We do have an interesting thing for the 9 hour coming up. So RC, aka Rochelle Guerin, will be coming to my apartment to race in the 9 hour, which means we will both be using the same rig, which means literally when we switch drivers, we are actually going to have to adjust the rig to accommodate her 5 inches shorter frame.
Do you have a chaperone, sir?
Sir Jack Spirit is a chaperone. Anyone who's ever met Jack is nothing but nice to RC. That's how that works.
I have incredible news. Betty White will be 100 years old in 176 days.
Boy.
Betty White for president.
Cue all the Keith Richards, Betty White jokes that always come up with
These are true statements.
It's like, Keith Richards surveying the complete devastation of the world, thinking he's the last man alive until a figure comes out of the smoke with a sword and says, "All right, Keith, we knew this would come down to us," and it's Betty White.
Very nice. I feel there needs to be a Betty White SCP thing written.
Max Simmons trying to make his way back through the field. He's caught up to Tom Ferber. Looking to lap him. Or no, that's not Tom Ferber. That's Hancock's. Pardon me. Ferber is in the other McLaren 720S. My apologies. Keeping all these drivers straight is a hard job. I have so much more appreciation for guys who do enduro races in real life commentary, remembering who's partnered with who, because particularly if it, like, for example, Byron has watched the 12 hours of Bathurst
Twice.
There's like 4 drivers in some of those cars that you got to remember. It's tough. Here we only have 2, and I'm mixing it up periodically.
There are at least 72 drivers per car.
It's Hancock's lapping the overtaking. That's Kerry Arnaud getting overtaken, actually. And Simmons trying to overtake them both under blue flags into turn 1. This will be very interesting if he actually pulls it off. And he will. Drives Hancock's wide. And I feel like Arnaud missed a trick there, because he could have set up for the switchback with how wide Hancock's was going to get forced by Simmons. Could have used that to attack and try and take back his 9th place.
Mr. Handy Boy.
So let's see here. Simmons' next target will be Stefano Schiavone for position anyways. Let's see if we can get a gap here on the matter. By the way, the lead gap down to 2 seconds. So that is still closing. Just Pater trying to make that late lunge and stab and victory. Follow up Hancock. Simmons is 25 seconds back. Okay, so kind of unlikely that he'll be able to come anywhere near Schiavone. So unfortunately, Adam David Brosh has kind of let that car sink back a little bit. Although I still say Adam David Brosh did a fantastic job, and among many drivers in this race deserves a tremendous round of applause. I think a number of guys have acquitted themselves incredibly admirably across this race. Across the 85 laps we've had here today. I will have the log files for this uploaded tonight. I actually had completely forgotten that I didn't have them up. My apologies.
You know what? You and your log files. What about the candlestick files?
It's all logs.
Oh,
All
it's
logs all the time.
log, it's log, it's big, it's heavy, it's wood. It's log, it's log, it's better than bad, it's good. What about powdered toast man? Powdered toast man. Cling tenaciously to my buttocks. Have you not seen the original Red Snippy?
I have.
Tremendous. A little too tremendous, some might say.
A little bit much. A little bit
The
much.
skosh too tremendous. I don't think I'm going to survive the next 7.5 minutes. I'm going to have to take a pit stop. I will be right back.
Go ahead. I will bring us more action here as Nils Sauer, currently the leader, has managed to stop the bleeding and hold it at about 2 seconds. 2.064. Back to Dispeta in the Aston Martin. Burke, Arjona, McLaughlin, Schiavone, Simmons, Ferber, Hancock's, Arnaud, your top 10. Having still a good battle between Hancock's and Arnaud down there for 9th place. That's still going strong. Not really much else to say right now. The battle for the lead might come down to something here. Gap is down to 1.9, almost 2 seconds. Burke seems kind of alone. Arjona seems kind of alone. McLaughlin, Schiavone. We talked about how Simmons was quite a ways back from him. Ferber seems to be kind of on his own. So it's really just the battle for the lead between Sauer and Pater. And then back to Hancock's and Arnaud battling for 9th place. Although Hancock's is pulling away from Arnaud. That gap is up to 3 seconds. Coming down to the absolute nitty-gritty here. 6 minutes to go. Probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 laps plus the one that Sauer's on right now. So he'll be finishing up this one, and then it'll be 3 more to go, is my guess. There is the chasing car of Dispater. It's been amazing to see Dispater's performance. Probably the MVP, you'd have to say. He may not actually be faster than his teammate Wohlers, but Fabian Wohlers seemed to be unable to hold off Kevin Braun. And Dispater has made up for it by being that much better than Nils Sauer so far today, and is still keeping the 93 car within a cunt-air of victory.
Whoa! What are you, Australian? G'day.
We got Australian viewers. They needed it.
G'day, you're a real highway for fucking victory here, mate.
5 minutes to go. 5 minutes as we ride with Mario Walter. He's getting out of the way there of... well, that'd be the race leader, Sauer, coming through. I'm not sure who the white Audi is. I think that's Schiavone. I think. Yeah, it must be. So the white car is Schiavone, and then Walter in the blue, white, and gold. Purplish, I guess. Bought a little bit of breathing room between Dispeta and Sauer for now. What do you think? Do you think Pater gets him?
I think that Pater will Peter Piper some pickled peppers.
It's 1.8. He's now 1.4 seconds behind with probably 2 laps to go.
It's going to be close. I think it's going to come down to some skills right at the last 2 corners.
Pickup. Carry Arnaud's car is vibrating quite violently.
Well, I mean,
I wonder if that's been
that's
a
an
problem
added
the whole
feature that you have
race.
to pay extra for.
Here is Dispater. Has cleared Mario Walter. Let's see what the gap is now. We should be getting a time bar fairly certain soon. Not really sure why we're looking back from Dispater.
Make sure also to order your car from AliExpress.com.
Gap has grown to 1.6. I think that was Dispater clearing Walter, costing him about a little bit over a tenth. As they come across the line, and it's up to 1.944. Wow. Okay. Sauer has been given the hurry up by the pit wall to secure this victory, or he might be looking for a new ride. But we got 2 laps to go. Aston Martin will win, but what Aston Martin will it be? Will it be the team of Nils Sauer and Kevin Braun, or will it be the team of Fabian Wohlers and Dispater? He's got a blue flag car between him. That is the car of Schiavone. In 6th place. So they've lapped up to 6th place. Top 5 on the lead lap. Burke in 3rd. Arjona, McLaughlin. Not really much else happening. It's really just who's going to win. Almost everybody else has kind of had their fate written in stone at this point. And it would take a major mistake from somebody to open the door for change. By the way, credit to Jeff Hancox, who's been racing with that giant red bar of ping this whole time. So, credit to him for being as good as he's been with substandard internet. Max Simmons. It felt like there was more in this for Max Simmons. Led a lot of laps. But I just don't think Adam David Brosh, who did a stunning job with what he had, was able to keep up. This team really ran to the absolute ends of the car as far as long stints are concerned. And they rolled the dice. I don't think it really worked out all that well. But 7th place is not a bad showing. A lot of valuable intel for the 9-hour, which won't see nearly as much stretching because it's a 65-minute max stint length. So you can't race for much more than an hour before you have to pit. Yeah, but it will be interesting to see people ration their tires in this upcoming time. Schiavone is really actually being a bit of a pain here, kind of racing Sauer. I don't know what I'd do if I was Sauer here. I'd want to let him through, but of course there's Dispater right behind him. But it's created this interesting thing here on the last lap. If Dispater can clear Schiavone, he might be able to attack. There's only 16 seconds on the clock, but keep in mind they have to the end of this race, and Dispater is through. So the pressure is on Sauer now. That is the gap for the lead. Dispater, Garage 5993 car, against the number 19 of Nils Sauer for the victory. Not a lot of time left. We're going to have the NGK chicane probably as the last really good shot, because this is the RTL corner, followed by the Warsteiner curve, and then it's Advent Bogan, NGK chicane, and Coca-Cola to the end. 3 corner complexes left in this race. I think Dispater is going to come up short because he's about 6/10 back. It's hard to see him making it up. Really, he had to be closer here at the NGK chicane to really make anything happen. unless we see a mistake here at Coca-Cola Curve, it is going to be Kevin Braun and Nils Sauer, your winners of the 3 Hours of Nürburgring by ESR. There is the confirmation. Diz Pater second. Andrew Burke is going to come home in third, barring travesty.
Travis who?
Travesty, not Travis.
Travis T.
Although Travis Wallace can cause
No, it's
some
Travis
travesty.
W. Not Travis T.
Albert Arjona. Interesting day for the Porsche group.
I like that 6th and 7th is finished, but the boys in the 4th and 5th have not.
6th and 7th were lapped. Is
A likely story.
We're down a lap. Albert Arjona coming across the line to finish in 4th place for the AXRT crew. Also across the line, there comes, not sure if that's Matt Higgs or Mika Watt.
It was both.
Mika Watt. 11th place. Gotta say, a little disappointed by the Watt Higgs combo. I thought that would be a team that would really actually be in the
I told you
hunt,
right away.
but
No
11th
bust, no
place
deal.
here today. They come up short here today. Josh McLaughlin brings home the Nissan Godzilla in 5th place with teammate Jeff Wentworth to take a top 5. Surprising. Didn't see that coming. Thought that that team would be a little bit weaker. Then it is Schiavone and his teammate, whose name eludes me right now, Weisman, in 6th place. Max Simmons and Adam David Brosh 7th. Tom Ferber and Sean Shades in 8th place. Jeff Hancock's Dave Nelson. And it's Kerry Arnaud and Gary Lynn. Mika Watt, Matt Higgs, Mario Walter, and his partner Sildermake. Right. And then it is the number 99 car of Racer and Record. And then, of course, the DNFs for the Magus and Javier Perez Torres, number 900 car. You can see there's a number 18 car there as well. That was us trying to rejoin, which unfortunately did not work.
They're too powerful. The CIA had to shut down Javier's wheel.
Apparently. Well, that is it for the 3 hours here, Byron. Do you have any final thoughts?
Everybody go outside and dance naked under the moonlight.
Sounds like a plan.